Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottles getting nifty up the Kraken. We stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated public sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Yo, welcome to Pub Sports Radio. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. Today is Tuesday, March 21st. Jimmy the Bag, we got Pubapalooza 2 coming up in 2 days, right? 48 hours, 72 hours. It's going to be great. I'm psyched for it. I'm coming in on Friday. You're coming in on Thursday. That's the big news. We're still in the middle of March Madness. It's a lot of fun. We got a 14 or 16 game NHL card, right? NHL game card today. How many NHL games are there? 13, whatever. A bunch of those games are looking pretty interesting with some underdogs that are looking maybe with a little bit of value. It's looking like one of those cards where there's like 5 dogs. If you bet them all, 2 or 3 of them will win, right? Jimmy the Bag. So how much better could life be than right now? A lot better. But it's pretty damn good, though. Pretty damn good right now. Friends, laughter, huge NHL card with some big dogs that you've already capped as probably going to have a little bit of value. We got Jose Bouquet on the 1s and 2s. We got all our friends in the comments section. It could be a lot better, but it's pretty damn good from everything that I've just been listening to myself say. Right, Jim?
It feels pretty good to be alive. We're also running real hot here on the show. These Tuesdays have been very successful. Last 8 shows, the last 2 weeks of shows, I'm 71 and 53 plus 15.21 units.
Wow.
And I needed it. I needed that 4 straight winning shows. I was in the black in every show last week. And the year didn't get off to a great start. And that's putting it mildly. It got off to an awful start. And we had such a great 2022, and I got a little used to success. And so I changed the way I was sort of doing my stats so that we could start stacking winning weeks. That's what we have to do. We have to stack winning weeks over another, and then get right back in the black and everything. And there he is, our guy, Sammy Comer, with a $13.99 dono to bless all of our action. We love you, Sammy.
So are you up for the year now, Jimmy the Bag?
No, I am not. I'm not up for 2023 now. I'm not. I'm very close.
Right.
But it's the fact that NFL was so strong. In NBA and NHL, I still have quite a bit of work to do, and I'm expecting to deliver those goods. But no, I'm not in the black in 2023, and it's extremely bothersome, but I'm very close.
You know, it happens. You know, the real pros do crazy shit that will blow your mind, and then they don't even flinch. Did you see how Fezzik took a huge bet on the Purdue money line against FDU? Did you catch that, Jimmy the Bag?
Holy.
And I think our old friend Rob Pizzola made a pretty big bet on as a huge favorite on no number 1 seeds to get upset in the first round. Wow. So just keep in mind what the betting lives of some of these pros are actually like. A lot of ups and downs, some huge swings, ups and downs.
Yeah, it's about handling them. And I was really in the dumps about a month ago. So we've been building back, and we talked about it, and we have been delivering. There, it seems like everybody is delivering the goods right now.
Mike M sure as hell is, right?
That pimp slap play today, cashing. He 11-1 last 12. He had
and fucking razor sharp picks.
Eating. It's very exciting. It's all very exciting to see everybody cashing, and now I'm joining the group cashing as well. We have a huge card. We want to give everybody a shout out. We are so excited about being in Texas this weekend. Man, I can't wait. Shout out to everybody joining us. Nasty Nate in the house, a.k.a. Mr. Trifecta. He says 24 hours from now, he'll be on the plane to San Antonio. There's Clint Star, the Die Hard MMA podcast, says this hockey card slaps. Let's go. Billy Friedrich says 24 hours from now, he'll be in his car on his way to work. So not quite as exciting as Nasty Nate. Jay Smooth in the house. Billy Friedrich says, I think I may have a bet, or he may have a bet on every NHL game tonight. That's wild. I only have 4 bets that I've locked in thus far. Viper NB. There's Mike M. Star, the Pimp Slap play today. Andrew G. Justin McElvey. J. Dub. The Nuke Worker. Rye Cape. Serious Business. Razor Sharp Picks. Matty Ice. Imp 13. Hey, yo. D in the house. There is Birdie. Slatsy. Rocco Rogers. Fat Cat Ninja. Browns Hughes. I'm now following Browns Hughes on Twitter. And anybody who supports our show, if I don't follow you, let me know, because I want to follow you. It means a ton that you guys support us, and I want to support in return. Great group here. Let's see. Galactic High Occupancy. Lucky Lefty in the house. Lucky Lefty ready to get to work. He says, tell Tara to get up and listen. She's off today. I don't have to listen from work. You mean Tata? I think maybe some Tata Booker. Yeah, man. Tata. It's time to get to work. It's time to get that cash. I'm happy that you're relaxing at home, though. What a great group. Lucas Ryan ready to get to work. There's Ron Crawford, star of the spreadsheet play today. And the spreadsheet play today is in here.
Very interesting.
Vegas Golden Knights, who've been playing very good hockey. Let me get to them. Vegas at Vancouver. So spreadsheet play of the day is in. It is the Vegas Golden Knights. Jay Peasy ready to get to work. And Chad Lehman, Gifted Cartel. It's time to get to work, my friend Peter. We have a big NHL card. Then we have Daby Cab joining us for NIT and CBI. And then we have Trot Wam, Wham Bam, Walter Trotter the fourth joining us for NBA. Malik says you need to head your way to Vegas. We might be it's tough with the young family, but we might be making a quick trip to Vegas in July. I wish I could be there now. Let's get to work, Pete. We have a big schedule of exciting.
Okay, I don't know which order you want me to go in, but
I put it in the description, but let's start with Senators Bruins.
Okay. I was going to start with Carolina Rangers. Okay. Wow. There's so many. It feels like a freaking college basketball card slate here. Okay, Senators Bruins. All right, Jimmy the Bag, Boston Bruins. Obviously, awesome, right? Obviously, looking to win the Stanley Cup this year. Obviously, not necessarily going to give 100% in every regular season game from here on out. And not just mentally, they're also actually literally resting some guys here and there, right? You know about that, right, Jim?
They are, and they should.
They certainly are. Now, here they are, a massive favorite over Ottawa. Ottawa's on a back-to-back. They won 2-1 at Pittsburgh yesterday. They had lost 5 in a row before that. But before that, they had been winning. Boston off a 7-zip blowout win. Boston had been, a little bit 50-50 for a couple of games in a row. So they came back and made a statement there. Now they're coming back. I'm thinking, again, a massive favorite line here for Boston. If Boston had full motivation, of course, they would be the play here. But I'm thinking maybe Ottawa first period might be okay, and I'm thinking maybe under.
I can understand the thought process there. I just don't think Mad Sogard is an NHL caliber goaltender.
Really?
A 6'8" statue back there who should be plying his trade with the Belleville Senators. He's only up here because of injuries. And the Senators only won last night at Pittsburgh because of Dylan Ferguson. And we see this happen in NHL. Dylan Ferguson was sent down to the ECHL by the Toronto Marlies. The Marlies, the AHL affiliate for the Leafs, didn't want him. All of a sudden, he is absolutely spectacular. He'd only had 9 minutes. 9 minutes of NHL crease time before the game last night, and he was spectacular. 49 shot. They were outshot 49-21. He made 48 saves, stood on his head, got the Senators the win, a win they didn't deserve. And I do not think that they're going to get that same type of net mining from Mad Sogard. So that's my first concern. Let's talk about the line history here. And I don't think Dylan Ferguson will ever do that again. Although we've seen goaltenders sort of get hot late, but an ECHL quality netminder is likely to have just that one great game. Bruins open up minus 313. They're now minus 299. Totals wise, it's opened up at 6.5, minus 106 to the over. It's now minus 104 to the over. I have Yolmark listed in that. I'm not sure if he will be in.
Yes.
Types. 34, 5-1, 1.97 goals against average, 935 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Ottawa 4-5-1 over their past 10, 14.3% power play, 81.3% penalty killing. Boston's been succeeding throughout the second half of the year with the struggling power play. It's 16.7% over the past 10 games. It's up a little bit from what it was before. 81.3% overall penalty killing. Senators on that second half back-to-back. I just don't see Mad Sogard replicating what happened last night. Bruins have gotten over that surprising stretch where they lost 3 of 4 games by winning 3 straight road games in impressive fashion. They outscored their last 3 opponents 16-2. They're coming off 7-0 destruction of the Sabres in Buffalo on Sunday. Derek Forbort, defenseman, and left wingers Taylor Hall and Nick Foligno remain out. Gifted Cartel says highest scoring period will more likely be the first period here if Mads plays. Slatsy says, let's keep in mind Central shot 49-21 last night and are 1-7 in their last 8 meetings in Boston. And says Bruins are not the pen. This is Bruins or no bet for me. And it's going to be no bet because I'm not going to sit here and believe that the Bruins are going to go all out and cover a puck line. But I certainly want nothing to do with the Senators. Birdie says it was a Bruins game before the trade deadline that motivated the Sens to buy at the deadline. This is a meaningful game for them. But agree, Jimmy, tending a worry. Yeah, this game, with all the opportunities we have on the NHL card, this game does not appeal to me to make a bet.
Okay, I'm just curious. So you think Sogard is that bad? You don't think his struggles are mostly just due to Ottawa defensively in general?
He is a slow goaltender.
Really?
He's 6'8", but he doesn't have that quick twitch. And he's not going to be an NHL goaltender.
Wow. Oh man, it does feel like Boston is the play then, right?
I do not want to count on the Bruins playing high-intensity hockey. There's no reason to do that. So I don't – the Senators are still going all out here. So, I just don't feel like this is an edge or an angle that I prefer.
You don't like the under?
No, I don't. Not if the Bruins – if I can't trust the Bruins are going to be playing intense defensively and on the back check, and not if Mads Sogard's in between the pipes for Ottawa. So I don't dislike it, but I certainly am not. I don't feel like there's an edge there enough for me to make a move on it.
All right, okay, we can move on then, Jimmy the Bag.
Birdie says there's a sense or nothing in his opinion at this price. It's a pass for him, and he says if Sogard starts, he likes the over. All right, we got a bunch of great hockey cappers in the chat rolling with us right now. Great to see Noli Knows, the Sweaty Butcher, Ricardo Roberts. Thank you guys for running with us. A Real Deal Prime in the house. And Clint saying no reason to stand in front of the Bruins. Other teams let down. This season, the Bruins don't let down. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Predators, Sabres, and I have moved on this game.
Yeah, both of these, of course, this is a mirror image game. Both of them off of 7-zip blowout losses. And both of them are also playing for playoff situations, right? I believe, right? And sorry about the sneeze. It feels like Buffalo should be the play here based on my analysis of the situation. Buffalo has been losing recently, but they were a big dog in much of that losing. Now they're back at home as a favorite. Nashville has a bunch of guys out. I know that. They were winning not too long ago, but now they've lost 3 in a row. Again, a bunch of guys out for the Predators. Buffalo, a bunch of losing in games where they were a dog. Feels like Buffalo would be the favorite. Might be the play here as a favorite. What do you think, Jim?
It's very difficult to bet the Buffalo Sabres with the way they've been playing, but bet them now. Bet them today. I'm on them on the -1 line. I didn't get a great line either. Billy Friedrich on Sabres puck line. I'll explain more why the Predators are a fade, and I know it's tough to trust these Sabres. Line movement wise, it's opened up at -140. It's just -142 right now at Pinnacle, so very little move towards the Sabres. Total wise, it's opened up 6.5, -121 to the over. It's now at -115 to the over. I'm not sure who is going to be between the pipes for the Sabres. I would prefer Craig Anderson, but I think at this point in the year, we can't trust whatever goaltending we're going to have in between the pipes for the Sabres. Saros is the only person that you can trust now on the Predators because their superstar, Roman Josi, is out. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. But look, this team was able to handle losing Forsberg and Johansson and then Parsonen. So they were able to handle being down 3 centers. They were able to handle being down Carrier, Borowiecki, and Ryan McDonough, 3 defensemen. Now you add Roman Josi, your superstar stud out, and now they'll figure out how to get around it, or maybe he'll be back sooner than later because he's just day-to-day. But they are not going to win a hockey game without him on the ice. This is too much now. Now you're so look, Buffalo's not been good. Their penalty killing's been atrocious, but you take Roman Josi off of the Predators' power play, and it's now, they did pick up Tyson Barrie in the Ekholm trade, so Barrie can be a power play specialist, so they're not completely screwed. We have North Texas from Matty Ice. Also, the spreadsheet play today was also North Texas from Ron Crawford in NIT action, so I'm going to make sure that I have that properly set up here. Real Deal Prime says the Sabres will respond here. Gerardo Hernandez looking at the Sabres in regulation. And I took the Sabres on the -1 line. This is a pretty easy fade of Nashville. I despise the Nashville Predators, and that gets in the way. And my ROI is negative fading them. K-Wolf says, I'm done with the Sabres. I understand. Look, I understand. They've been playing pitiful hockey. They've lost 3 straight, and they just lost 7-0 at home to the Bruins on Sunday. Newly acquired Jordan Greenway, who brings a lot of size and toughness, is out with an upper body injury. And Matthias Samuelsson is out with an upper body injury as well. But this is probably the best bet on the board. I'm telling you.
Whoa, really?
I at this point, we'll keep going through it, but I think it's the best.
Well, it is increasing as we speak, as we refresh. So I don't know if they're listening to the show or what, but I bet it. I'm going to take Buffalo -1 plus 112 as an official play, Jimmy the Bag. Buffalo -1 plus 112. Best bet on the board? I don't know about that, but I definitely like it. Agreeing with you, Jimmy the Bag. I think we got a nice positive EB situation here.
Sabres -1 for Pistol Pete Loshak, -1
plus 112, current line Pinnacle.
I got plus 104.
When was that?
Okay, let's roll on right now to the next spot on the board, Pete. And I've moved on this one as well. Lightning Canadiens.
Okay, Tampa Bay, Montreal. Okay, let me find. Again, this is like a freaking college card. Let me scroll and scroll and scroll. Where the hell is that game? Hold on. All right, Tampa Bay and Montreal. Now, Tampa Bay, a weird series against New Jersey, right? They won the first 2 games, then they lost the last one. But in general, we've been seeing this for the past month or so. Tampa Bay, a fine team, just not quite dominant. Montreal, playing Tampa Bay's second game in a row, giving up a lot of goals. They've lost 9 of 10, but Montreal did play them tough in the first game. And I'm thinking, at the very least, Montreal first period is worth a shot. Probably Montreal on the money line as a huge dog worth a shot. And maybe the Montreal team total over is worth a shot as well. I mean, maybe the over because Montreal's giving up a lot of goals, but Tampa Bay also, can give up a healthy number here and there as well. Got to be thinking Montreal first period, full game, and team total over.
Interesting. I'm on a different wavelength here. I do not want to, and I've barely ever done it, faded the Habs at home. They've been quite profitable there this year at the Bell Center. One of the things that happens when teams play at the Bell Center is they don't have as many letdowns as you would expect. It's a pretty special place to play in a very special city. You look up at all the Stanley Cup banners for the Habs. I just feel like teams and players step up on the Bell Center ice. And Tampa had their 3-game winning streak snapped, a 5-2 loss at home to the Devils on Sunday. They're completely healthy right now. And with the issues that the Habs have allowed 26 goals over their last 4 games. And when you go over their injury report, you say it's not their fault. I mean, this is one of the most extensive injury reports I've ever seen in my life. And, at this point in the year, they have 5 center icemen done for the season. I mean, Monahan and Byron are, could come back, but you just can't compete when you have all these injuries and all these problems.
Well, then how are they competing against this very Tampa Bay team just 3 days ago, Jimmy the Bag?
It was different. That's at Tampa. When you're at home against a weakling, I think that you can let go, and the Lightning of not being a team that you can count on.
Yeah, right.
But for me, I'm on the Lightning on the puck line at minus 110. I've been waiting for them to start showing that they can play better hockey. Look, they're just 17-16-1 on the road. And if you wanted to back Montreal, I would certainly not talk you off backing a dog. But if you look here, from guys like Billy Friedrich, he's on the Habs team total under 2.5 and the Tampa Bay puck line. Mike M says, love this over goals. For me, I think the Lightning are going to play stronger hockey, and I think that the Habs have every excuse to struggle down the stretch here.
Really? So, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I can't not do it because if it cashes, I'll be very frustrated. At the very least, I'll take the Habs first period plus 167. Okay. That's current line of Pinnacle. And what about overs?
Well, let's take a look at this line movement. I'd be curious to see it as well. We didn't discuss it right off the top. So first off, there's been a big move towards, or not big, but a decent move towards the Habs. They've gone from plus 225 to plus 215. So the Lightning have gone from minus 264 to minus 244. Totals wise, it's opened up at 6.5, minus 112 to the over. It got up to minus 120 to the over at Pinnacle. There was an 8-cent move to the under here at 9:31 a.m. I just don't want to. And Brady says, I like that, Jimmy. He says, Habs are wanting to finish fourth worst to get a better chance at Bedard. Stimmy OG's taking a shot with the Habs. A Real Deal Prime says, Habs playing for Bedard. Tampa Bay playing to perform well in the playoffs. Mike M says this is a 13-6 to the over spot. I think that the Habs are going to let go. I think they're going to let go here down the stretch.
I mean, Jim, the Habs are awful, but they've scored 18 goals in the past 4 games.
While allowing 26.
I'm sorry?
While allowing 26.
Right.
And I still expect Vasilevsky to step up here down the stretch. I mean, these guys, the Lightning know that they want to be playing some somewhat good hockey coming into the playoffs. Your feeling on the Habs and on the over, I'm definitely not getting in the way of. You don't like the over maybe a little bit? I just don't want to have to count on Montreal beating Andre Vasilevsky. I just don't want to be watching a game expecting that or hoping for that.
But Vasilevsky he's fine, but he hasn't been what we think of him. I mean, I know it was Elliott last time, but Vasilevsky, he's a good goalie. He's a good goalie, but is he the Vasilevsky of old? Is he anything close to that?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, last year he did not have a very strong regular season, and then he was dominant once again in the playoffs. This guy is he's Mr. Consistent. He has not looked great, but he had his last 3 starts have been against the Devils. A really good hockey team, very strong offense. He allowed 8 goals in 3 starts against them. When push comes to shove, who in the entire league do you want in between the pipes more than Andre Vasilevsky?
I'd take Omar.
I wouldn't. Not a chance.
No?
Not a chance. Omar can do it for 1 year on the best team in the league. Not a chance. We'll see what Yulmark does in the playoffs. He's got to prove himself. He's not done that. This is not a what have you done for me lately. This is look at the banners hanging from the rafters.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't want to talk you off of your thoughts on the overs and the Habs. The over might be a perfect situation here.
All right. No, okay. I'll stick with Montreal first period. If it loses, it's okay. Leaning overs, but you're right. It's a Tuesday night game. Maybe Vasil will step up. I'll hold off on the over for now.
Okay. Yes, Mally, I moved on the Sabres with a ton of confidence. And Real Deal Prime says Montreal, worst team in their own zone in the league. I don't like their chances. And then we have Slatsy saying they're still trying for Marty. There's no doubt that they're still trying for Marty St. Louis. He's done a spectacular job coaching this year. spectacular Cub. And New York, Bernard will go with number 1. But, I mean, if you get into the lottery, you can be 4th, the worst team in the league, and you can get that number 1 pick. And that's what we're discussing here. Marcus Anderson says, I would take Demko over Vasilevsky. The Demko of 3 years ago. The Demko that knocked out the Blues after they won the Cup. But the Demko returning from hip surgery. Look, the reason why he looks so good in between the pipes is because you also had to watch Dahlia, and Spencer Martin play horrific. But let's roll on. I'm on the Lightning -1.5, -110. Loshak is on the Habs first period +167. And next up for us, we have a huge game in Madison Square Garden, Hurricanes Rangers.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is one of those games where you're like thinking, what's up with this line, right? What's up with this line? Carolina, obviously, in general, very highly thought of, but for a bunch of games in a row now, not that great. Just 500 over the last 6 games. The 3 wins were all very close as a huge fave. Rangers off 2 straight huge shutout wins, just rolling, right? 4 straight wins, all as a home fave, just rolling at home. And I don't know, you might have thought like, well, maybe the Rangers won't be as big of a favorite as as you would guess based on their recent performances. But the line overnight was even on both sides. Rangers 107 or so, Carolina -105 or so. Carolina seems very overvalued right now. Rangers seem like a team that's rolling. Are they going to be motivated to get a 3rd straight dominant win? Why not? But they just seem so much better right now. And it's a very low line, suspiciously low line. My first thought was Rangers, but definitely want to hear what you had to say about this.
Well, we were on Washington last Tuesday. We were on the Rangers last Tuesday against Washington. We were on the Rangers -1. And I told everybody, I said, after that 4-game road trip, that they didn't look very good, and they're working in Kane and Tarasenko, that they were going to play their best game, and they were going to get on a run. And now they've been dominant. 4 straight wins, the last 2, 6-0 over Pittsburgh and 7-0 over Nashville. I don't know if that's really when you want to bet on a hockey team after they've outscored their opposition 13-0 over 2 games. And you had a Hurricanes team that doesn't look very good. And now also, look, I don't care much about the market in NHL, but the fact that the Hurricanes opened up as favorites here and that they've stayed favorites here at -110 compared to
the Hurricanes? You mean the Rangers?
The Hurricanes.
I'm seeing the Rangers as a favorite right now.
Okay, but I mean, at Pinnacle, Hurricanes are -110 favorites.
Pinnacle?
I've got that on my book. I'll pull up Pinnacle's site, but I've got on the site that watches all the books.
I'm seeing Rangers -113, Hurricanes +103 at Pinnacle right now.
Well, that's huge. Then if this is not updating, that's extremely, extremely important. Yes, you do. Rangers -113. Wow. God, this isn't updating because this said at 10:05 a.m. the Hurricanes got up to -110. Wow.
I mean, the big question is like, what's up with? Is it just something like weird, fluky, psychological with the Hurricanes, or is it something fundamental?
Well, it's something real. Losing Svechnikov for the year,
right?
Puljujarvi can't possibly be a top 6 forward. So if they hadn't, if you wish that Svechnikov would have gone down right before the trade deadline, which he did not. Ken Mizrahi is Kane score first. Rangers win 4-1, and Browns who's saying Penny has Rangers -113. I'm surprised that this is not updating. It scares me when my line movement page isn't tracking it properly. Mike M says New York in over spot on 3rd straight home game after winning last 2 by 5+ goals, and Canes have gone over 9 of their last 12 versus the East. I'm not sure who's going to be in between the pipes. Billy Friedrich would have a better idea. Freddie Anderson, 18-7-0, 2.47 goals against average, 902 save percentage might be there. Shesty, who's not been very good this year, but I expect him to have a similar season to what Vasilevsky had last year when Shesty got hot. Billy said this is why the Canes needed to make 2 major moves at the deadline, not name Puljujarvi and Ghost. Yeah, I didn't even like the Ghost Despair move that much, but I get it. Carolina 6-4-0 over their past 10, 36% power play, 90% penalty killing. I mean, that's just Rod the Bod Brindamore. What a coach he is. Rangers 7-2-1, 27.6% power play, 89.3% penalty killing. Hurricanes rebounded from their 5-2 loss in Toronto by beating the Flyers 5-4 in overtime Saturday night. They were down. They were up 3-1 after the first. They were down 4-3, and Natchez scored with 1 second left to take it to overtime where they won it. The Rangers are just rolling right now. They're such a healthy group. I don't want to get in the way of them, but I also don't want to back them here when the Hurricanes are clearly scuffling.
Yeah.
And the Rangers have outscored the opposition 13-0 over the past 2 games on a 4-game winning streak. So
Rye Cape says Canes Rangers love to score goals and they play each other. I love the over here. Let's cash some tickets. And Mike M, over spot, team on a 3rd straight home game, blah, blah, blah. Mike M, shout out to Mike M. He likes the over as well.
yeah, I can I think that's interesting. I feel like this is it looked for a second there that this was going to be the preview of the opening round series because the Devils were just rolling. Let's just take another look and see where it is right now here with the standings. They Hurricanes have a 1-point lead on the Devils, but they have 2 games in the hand. So this is a huge game for the Hurricanes. And this game doesn't really matter for the Rangers. And I just don't want to back a team that's just been this dominant over the last little bit against another quality team that's – you guys know I have futures all over the Rangers. And I'm not going to bet this game. This one does not appeal to me.
Okay, interesting. Maybe I'll bet it based on line movement closer to game time. As of right now, pass for me as well, Jim.
All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board, which I have moved on. Minnesota Wild at New Jersey Devils.
Here we go. Now, this is an interesting one, right? Minnesota, 2-2 last 4, but overall good, right? Winning about 75% of their games going back a bunch of weeks now. And New Jersey, a good team, beat Tampa Bay in their last game, but did lose two before to Tampa Bay. Very winning team, but lost 3 of their last 4. And here they're a huge favorite. Minnesota, I don't know, man. I mean, historically, Minnesota does well against New Jersey. You know, the Devils have not beaten Minnesota for a bunch of games now. So how can New Jersey be this big of a favorite here against Minnesota? I would be leaning maybe, if you want to take it safe, Minnesota +1 or +1.5, maybe first period. Feels like the line is a little bit too big.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I do not think the line is too big. I moved on the Devils on the -1 line. Opened up at Pinnacle -172. I have it now at -171. I'll have to see if that is right.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool. Totals opened up at 6 -106 to the over. There's been no movement at all on the total. The Wild have been scoring a ton of goals without Kirill Kaprizov in the lineup, and I just don't believe it's going to continue. Brady said we're head-to-head here. Jimmy, I really like the Wild in this spot. Devils are road warriors. These teams are closer than this number and values on Mini. Plus what Pete said, Wild plays well versus the Devils. I do not believe what we've seen from the Wild over their past few games is a legitimate example of where they are right now. And I think that they aren't going to be excellent down the stretch here. I imagine that I'm going to lose my under 99.5 points. They'll have to start losing a few of these games here. But I just simply, their power play at 14.7%, their penalty killing at 67.7% over the past 10 games. You take by far their best sniper off of the ice in Kirill Kaprizov, and you take Marcus Foligno, who has toughness and hand, can do everything for you. Take him off the ice. I also have said over and over again that I think that the Devils are going to start winning at home down the stretch. Now, they haven't really done that, but I certainly still believe it. The Devils had their 3-game losing streak snapped in a 5-2 win at Tampa on Sunday. They'd lost twice to Tampa earlier in the week. They have some depth injuries. Left winger Miles Woods and right wingers Nathan Batchin and Curtis Lazar are day-to-day with injuries. But I simply do not believe that we're seeing the real Minnesota Wild over the last few games. They lose Kaprizov. They weren't scoring without him. Then they lose him. And then for some reason, they start tickling the twine. I do not expect them to continue to do that. And I expect the Devils to soundly beat them here. I'm on the Devils on the -1 line.
And what would you say about maybe the under? Because, the last bunch of games, it seems like a lot of guys have stepped up offensively for Minnesota, and they have gone way over. But before that, they were a very strong under-trending team. What do you think about timing a reversal?
I think it's a great call. Yeah, and Birdie saying this is a hit for him. This 3-2 game all day, in his opinion, sets up for very low scoring. I think that's a great idea. I'd like to add the under 6. If they were trending like they were before Kaprizov got hurt, this would be a 5.5. I agree. I think we got to take advantage of that. So I'm going to move on the under 6 as well. And I would be curious just to see what the Minnesota team total is going to be here. Let me just check that out. That it is juiced to the over 6 right now at Bet365, which I like. And then we're going to go to move over to the team total here and see what I'm being offered from Minnesota. Yeah, I can't really. I mean, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'll take the under here. Slatty says Matt Boldy's really stepped up and he needed to. Occupancy, looking at that under 2.5 team total for Minnesota -110. Yeah, so I'm Nolan knows is under 6 season. I'm gonna add the under, but I'm on the Devils -1.
All right, I'm gonna add the under as well. I'm gonna take under Pinnacle line under 6 -106. Under 6 -106. And for a team total for Minnesota, I'm seeing at Heritage for Minnesota 3.5 under -125.
Are you serious? -125?
Oh yeah,
Holy
3.5.
That's that. I have under 3.5 and -285.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's got to be. Oh right, because they're a dog. That can't be right. Okay, yeah, you're right. That's a miss. Right,
okay.
Probably reverse.
That under 2.5 is +100.
Wow. Heritage. I mean, I never see that from Heritage. Look at that. Heritage. I wonder if I bet that if they would void it and ban me. Look at that. You rarely see that from Heritage. Okay.
All right. Let's roll on here. Next up for us, Panthers, Flyers, and I've moved on this game too.
Okay, Panthers, Flyers. Let me see. Yeah, Panthers, Flyers. Again, Philly a bad team, but they're playing young guys, pressure-free. Torts isn't even yelling at them that much when they lose. Florida on a back-to-back. Pounded Detroit last night. In general, winning. But I don't know. This feels like a spot where it's very dangerous to take Florida as a big favorite here. I want to take Philly, maybe first period, full game, team total over. I want to hear what you guys have to say first, though.
I did take Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the Flyers at +160. Over at Pinnacle, this opened up at +154. They're now at +152. Totals wise, this opened up 6.5 -121 to the over. There's been a 5-cent move to the under. Rocco Rogers on the over. Billy Friedrich says liking the full game over as well. And I thought I saw Mike M talking about over. He likes the over here as well. Wells Fargo Center, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I like Philly at home. 13, 16, and 5. A pretty decent home record. They're a pretty decent road record. They have a pretty decent record all around. Domi Gunrici in the house says NHL, you cashed Panthers puck line last night +135 and over 6 in the Devils. Been riding them under most of their games, but jumped off last night going and went over back to the over today. So Domi Gun is on the Minnesota New Jersey over. And I really believe that we're going to see the real Minnesota Wild now. I mean, I could easily be wrong, but I think that they're going to go back to not being able to score and struggle a bit down the stretch. Brady says, I like the Flyers here also and bet them. He said, another spot where Flyers just beat Florida at home. We have Panthers on the back-to-back. Love this Flyer spot. Both we saw this. Love that we both saw it the same. I love it too. I really do. Panthers on the second half of back-to-back. They're coming off, it was a 5-2 win in Detroit last night. They've won 3 straight. They're probably feeling pretty good about themselves. The Philadelphia penalty killing is a problem. 58.6% over the last 10 games, and Florida power play starting to click. But Alex Leon in net for Florida, I just simply do not believe in him, and I've seen him enough over the years. He's not an NHL caliber goaltender. So I believe we have a big advantage in net, and we have a big rest advantage. Flyers haven't played since Saturday night. That's enough for me. If you're going to give me a +160 opportunity with a huge rest advantage and a advantage between the pipes, well, I will bet it every time. And the Flyers came back from a 3-1 deficit to take the lead in the third period. They should have won that game. They were unlucky not to win that game, against Carolina. They've been at home. Slatsy says Bobrovsky started 13 consecutive games. Has to be Leon tonight. Nothing for has to be. And as soon as that's announced, the line's going to change again. So I know it's hard betting on a bad hockey team or a bad team in any sport, but sometimes you just feel like there's enough of an edge to pull the trigger, and this is one of them.
Yeah, they're scrappy. They beat Buffalo as a dog, and then they took Carolina to OT. I mean, and they took Vegas close. They've been okay on this homestand.
Mikey M says Leon versus his former team. I've seen enough for this guy. So look, some guys can step up, but this is not the first time we've seen him running. Like I'm not a believer in him. I'll fade him. And this isn't me saying he's heartless or anything like that. I just don't think he's got the skill set here to play in the National Hockey League, and I would like to make money off how bad he is. So I'm in business here. I got Philadelphia plus 160. Pete, anything you want to make of the Cowardly Lions? Says Billy Friedrich.
Yeah, I'm thinking about tripling up, but I'm thinking I'm definitely going to take the team total over 2.5 minus 150. That's the current line at Heritage. Team total over 2.5 at minus 150, and I'm thinking of taking Flyers first period and maybe even Flyers -1.
Yeah, I respect it. I like it.
Is there any reason to believe they won't start out strong?
Well, there's just no. I don't see the point to take them first period when we know we're going to have a huge advantage in the third period. So I don't see the angle there, personally.
Well, I guess the angle is just like kind of tripling up on some of these some dog lines here. You know what? I'm going to triple up, Jim. What the hell? I like it enough to triple up. I'll take the first period plus 131. That's the current line. That's a Pinnacle. And I'm also going to take full game -1 at plus 275. That's also full current line at Pinnacle. Full -1 plus 275.
Plus 275. I love it. You
okay, let's move on, huh?
You are in. Okay, we move on. Next up for us, Columbus Blue Jackets, Washington Capitals. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the big question is, are the Jackets trying it all right now? They're on the road, 3 straight margin road losses, but Washington has not been much better. They've lost 5 of 7. And so you look at it all, you add it all up, and you got Washington as a minus 235 favorite or whatever they were on the overnight line. I guess that's justified if you think Columbus is really just not trying at all on this road trip, and maybe they'll try a bit when they get home or whatever. But if Columbus is trying at least a little bit, no way Washington can be this big of a favorite against these guys, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Columbus either, and I would love to fade the Capitals here, but I can't do it, unfortunately. I'm certainly not going to back them. Washington opened up minus 244. They're now minus 243 at Pinnacle. Totals wise, it's opened up at 6.5, minus 112 to the over. It's now minus 115 to the over. What I'd love to do is if Merzlikins was back. Merzlikins in Latvia for the death of his grandma. This was, Marcus in the chat here was explaining what's going on with Merzlikins last week. I would love to back him as soon as he gets back. I expect. Look, we all know what he's gone through over the last couple of years. His best friend dies beside him in a firework accident in a hot tub at the house of the goalie coach.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
But it doesn't sound real. Look, I get it. Like it doesn't sound real. So I mean, Merzlikins going through that. I really think that the squad will fight for him as soon as he comes back. Is he going to be back today? I had initially thought maybe he would, or maybe he comes back at home. But I need to know, when is Merzlikins back? As soon as he's back, I think they'll fight for him. They're 2-6-2 over their past 10. Power play at 32%. Penalty killing 68%. Washington 4-5-1 over their past 10. 23.5% power play, 90% penalty killing. Charlie Lindgren is in net for Washington. He's a goaltender, a journeyman who's earned his opportunity, but who I would happily fade. Columbus comes in off its third straight loss, 7-2 at Vegas on Sunday. Did they go out after losing? Marcus has news about Merzlikins. In the weekend, he still was in Riga, Latvia. Right now, he is in Columbus. Okay, beautiful. See, this is great. I love this stuff. Thank you, Marcus, so much. He will not play against the Capitals, but there's rumors that he will be playing against the Islanders. And Bertie says, I have to jet. Canucks is the best bet on the board tonight, in his opinion. They're finally playing great. No one has been better than the Canucks last 10, and we're getting plus money. Canucks best bet for me. Bertie, that's great stuff. I'm going to copy and paste that. That's really fun fodder for the rest of our show. So thank you, Bertie. I'm going to copy and paste that. Kuznetsov is now dealing with an upper body injury. You already have Nick Jensen gone. John Carlson, the horrific injury that he faced, he's still dealing with. He remains on IR, but he might come back at some point. But now you have Kuznetsov. I would love to back Columbus here, but maybe I just wait till Merzlikins' first game back. Maybe I do that here. I'm not. It's been very difficult. Christopher Contini said, "My boy saw the Jackets partying in Vegas the night before, and I hammered Vegas puck line." Wow, Christopher Contini, the night before.
Wow, hell yeah. Okay, yeah. So they are. I mean, they're just not bringing it. At least on this road trip.
Yeah, and I don't want Washington, so I'm off this one.
But what about the over? Is the over just an automatically, obviously good bet, or not even?
You're probably right. I mean, we kind of dealt with this on Friday a bit when we were like, well, we obviously have to take the Anaheim Columbus over 6.5, and I caught there so easily. Yeah, you're probably right. You're right. The over has to be looked, doesn't it? But now, what if Kuznetsov is not in the lineup? Then you're going to need the power play goals from Washington because you're not going to get them 5-on-5. Backstrom is just not the center he was. I think Kuznetsov is a big piece to this puzzle. If Kuznetsov is back, I'll move on it. If Kuznetsov is not in, I'm not going to move on it.
Okay. I'll tell you what I will do, though. I'm going to take the second period over 1.5 minus 192. I know it's a big line, but I think in the second period they're going to open up enough to put a couple goals up. And if it doesn't happen, I'll eat the loss. I'm going to take second period over 1.5 minus 192. Current line at Pinnacle.
Gifted Cartel says that second period is going to be the highest scoring period. Slatsy says Jackets have allowed at least 4 goals in 8 straight. I get it. Billy Freedy says Jackets have given up 28 goals in the last 5 games. I love it. And shout out to Marcus Andersons. I love having him in the chat. Great work.
Oh, yeah. And just very quickly, and then we'll move on. What about Columbus team total over 2.5 minus 120?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I
although I don't know, they couldn't even get that at Vegas or LA or it just. But Washington's giving up freaking goals too, though, aren't they?
Yeah, neither team is putting out defensive effort right now.
Yeah, all right. I'll just stick with the second period over and leave it at that.
Okay, you are in business here, minus 192. Let's move on to a very interesting one. Toronto Maple Leafs, New York Islanders at UBS Arena in Elmont, New York.
Yeah, this is one that I think is interesting. Definitely confused me. Probably not going to play it unless one of you tells me, something that's, explains a good angle here. Both playing for playoff positioning, of course. Toronto, 2 straight wins is a small fave. The Isles return home from a West Coast trip. They won their last 2 games. Feels like Toronto first period and full game maybe, but I'm not going to pull the trigger on that. Tough game. Both playing for playoff positioning though, so it might not be a letdown spot for the Islanders.
This is a tough game. Yeah, Leafs open up minus 122. They're now minus 118. Total wise, it's opened up at 6 minus 108 to the over. It's now minus 112 to the under. So a move towards the under. Billy Friedrich liking the under here. Samsonov, Sorokin, 2 Russian netminders having really strong seasons. Samsonov, 24-8-3, 2.35 goals against average, 917, save percentage, 3 shutouts. Sorokin, 25-19-6, 2.37 goals against average, 925, save percentage, 5 shutouts. Stimmy OG going big on the Maple Leafs here. Interesting. Both teams 6-3-1 over their past 10. Toronto power play 29.2%, penalty killing 78.1%. Islanders 15.4% power play, 83.3% penalty killing. That's over the past 10 games. There's Ski Profit in the house. What up, Ski?
Hell yeah, Ski Profit.
Billy Friedrich says Sorokin the runner-up for the Vezina this season. Yes, I believe he will be the runner-up for the Vezina behind Linus Ullmark. Leafs coming off their second straight win 5-4 in a shootout at Ottawa on Saturday night. They hope to get Ryan O'Reilly back before the end of the season. Victor Mete out with injuries. They have some defensive injuries. Islanders coming off their second straight win 4-1 at the Sharks on Saturday night. Matthew Barzal, who's so important. I mean, we've talked about it now for a couple weeks, but Bo Horvat is not scoring and won't score. He'll be back to what he was before he was in the contract year, and you'll have that for the next 8 years. So enjoy
Look
that.
at this. Everyone liking the Leafs, Jim. I don't know if you're keeping an eye on the comment section here. Look at this. Oh, not occupancy. Occupancy likes it, but we got Mike M says big time Toronto spot for me. Rye Cape, Toronto good price. Cheshire Cat likes the Leafs too.
Wow.
Yeah. Occupancy likes the Isles.
Wow. Let's take a look here. Are they? Is it fully? Yeah, they're. The Lightning aren't going to be able to catch them. Although they could make it a little closer. The Leafs have games in hand. The Leafs coming off their second straight win, 5-4 in a shootout Ottawa on Saturday night. I don't trust them. And then I don't want the Islanders. It's Leafs or nobody. The biggest angle in this game for me that I was sitting with was the Islanders come back from California. So they played on Saturday night. They fly on Sunday, have the day off Monday, come to work here on Tuesday. And I think they're probably fade worthy here. I think the chat's probably right. I don't want the Islanders at all, but can I trust that the Leafs are going to play intense hockey here?
Yeah, that's the question. My question for you is, what's the deal with the Leafs? Are they overvalued yet again?
It's possible. And it looks like Acciari is going to be back tonight. He took that shot to the head. Looks like he's going to be back. That helps them because they don't have O'Reilly. I don't know. I think maybe the squad's right. I think the Leafs are the pick. Like, I was so confident with the Kings against them, right? They opened up their trip, and I think that was on Friday or Thursday or Friday, and we had the Kings on the -1 line. They won 5-2 very easily. Then the Islanders beat the Ducks and the Sharks. Who cares? Those are the worst teams in the league. Now maybe are they ready to be attacked? Cheshire says -125 is a pretty good deal. And he's probably right. The Leafs are probably the play here.
Well, Jim, you can write this down for me. Leafs first period money line -113. Current line of Pinnacle. First period money line -113. I'll take a shot with it. I mean, that's how I was leaning.
I think I may join you guys on the Leafs. I think there's Nut Flush Allen in the house. What up, Nut Flush? Great to see you, man.
Hell yeah.
All right, DJ Big Boss in the house.
Everyone's in the comment. Nuke Worker, Noli, Slatsy, RVD, Andrew G, MMA Locker Room, Ski Prophet, Cheshire Cat, Nut Flush, DJ Big Boss, North Ender, Jimmy the Bag. Look at this comment section.
We're very lucky.
Everyone is here today. Tone Miggins, Mike M, Billy Friedrich, Rocco Rogers. Everyone is friggin' here today.
Let's keep rolling, my man. Next up for us, Red Wings Blues.
Red Wings Blues. All right. I thought this was another interesting one. I forgot what I think about it. Let me scroll. Oh yeah, right. Okay. So Detroit's on a back-to-back, of course, pounded by Florida last night. Just not a good team, but over the past 14 games or so, they did get a win against Boston. Now, Boston was obviously overlooking them, but still they got it. Before the last bunch of weeks, though, they were actually kind of winning. In St. Louis, 2 straight wins is a good-sized dog, but before that, they were not so good. It feels like a St. Louis spot, but Detroit is one of these spots where they're playing hungry youngsters. They're going to give it their all every time out. They don't care if they're off a loss. They don't care if they're on a back-to-back. So I don't feel very comfortable fading a team like that, especially with a team like St. Louis. They're off 2 straight wins, but they don't inspire confidence. Feels like a St. Louis spot, but probably best to just pass.
Well, first off, just looking at the line, if we weren't taking what happened yesterday, what's happening, my first thought was, wow, who wants the Blues as a favorite? That's
exactly
my thought. But Detroit is not playing good hockey right now. And all of a sudden, the Blues have a kid in net that they believe in. And they're fighting for. And he just shut out the Jets on Sunday.
But Binnington's expected.
Is it? I have Hofer.
Yes.
Damn, Binnington's expected?
Yes.
Well,
because his suspension is over. Oh, no. Now I'm seeing Hofer expected. You're right. Sorry. You're right. Okay.
Good. Yeah, Binnington's going to have to get used to watching for a little while.
Hofer likely. Yes. Hofer and Hellberg. Right.
So the Wings have a ton of issues on defense. So, of course, they traded Philip Hronek, who was hurt anyways. But Gustav Lindstrom, Simon Edvinsson, and Ben Sherratt are all hurt. And I don't see this stopping. I don't know why I needed to kind of sit with this for a while. I shouldn't have. I'm going to be on the Blues -1 here. I just see a team fighting, playing good hockey. They have a goaltender in this kid Joel Hofer that they like, and I love. I've listened to his interviews and stuff like that. I think this kid's a gamer.
I agree with you.
And I don't know why I haven't already bet this. That's my mistake. I should have already bet this. I think the problem was my first initial reaction was like, oh, how could you take the Blues as a favorite? Because I've been banking on the Blues at home. You guys have watched me bet the Blues at home quite a bit over the last month. So, and look, Rocco, also, I do think with Binnington after coming back from suspension, when Binnington comes back after watching Hofer play well, I do think that Binnington will play okay as well. I wouldn't be, against backing the Blues if it was Binnington, but I really want to back him with Hofer. So Osby saying Vrana's been great, much to the chagrin of Red Wing fans everywhere who despise the man. But yeah, I'm going to add Blues -1. I should be on it already. It's my mistake.
I was thinking about the under, and Jim, the only reason that it makes me nervous is because, like I said, Detroit is playing for nothing except to give young players experience and to prove themselves. I just hate fading a team like that,
Yes, but you're also fading a team that is missing 4 of their top 6 defensemen.
Right.
So, pick your angle and believe in it. That's an angle I believe in.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the under? I'm surprised that the total is as high as it is.
I can't trust the Red Wings without their defensemen. Usually I'd say, okay, well, the Red Wings aren't going to score. Sure. But Hellberg, is it going to be Hellberg? I mean, I don't know if I can trust them. I don't dislike it.
Right.
Let's just take a look at what the total is right now, what has happened to it. It's
6.5
the over. Yeah, it's gone down a tiny smidgen. I don't dislike it, but in a game where two teams that have no they're playing for jobs, and that's important, but there's no pressure on either spot here. I am only going to be on the Blues here.
All right, I'm going to take a shot with the under, Jim. 6.5 plus 103. If it loses, again, okay, I'll take it. But I'm going to take under 6.5 plus 103. I agree. I really like this goalie for St. Louis. I think they're playing well for him. And I think that the Detroit youngsters will step up enough to keep it lower scoring. So I'll take a shot with the under 6.5 plus 103.
You got it. Let's move on to Coyotes, Jets. A few more games here before we get into NIT and CBI action with the Magic Man Dabra Cadabra. So take it away here for us, Pete. Coyotes, Jets.
Here we go. Arizona, of course, turning it around. Won 6 of 7, all at home, though. Now they head on the road. But, Jim, I am learning about NHL, and one of the things I've learned is when these awful teams kind of turn it around a little bit and have some life to them, you can bet them, game in and game out. Here, you want me to close my window? I can close my window if you want. You want me to close my window? That's siren.
No, we love it.
Right.
We love the real deal.
Realness equals ratings. No one wants to see like, oh, Loshak has a pretty nice life. Like, God, Loshak kind of fucked up. Let me tune in tomorrow. Arizona, and it's not a fluke. If you read about this team, they had a meeting after the trade deadline. They all talked about it. They hugged it out. They were like, we're going to try. We're going to have a good attitude. And it's paid off. It is at home, though, so now they go on the road. But again, they're getting this freaking massive dog line. And maybe they're not as undervalued, on the road as they have been at home. But I just don't see. Winnipeg is 4-10 in their last 14. How can they be a minus 250 fave here?
You're right. But Rick Bowness is an old school dude. Like, he's not going to – he's going to scare the shit out of everybody in the dressing room. This opened up Winnipeg minus 252. They're now minus 290.
Oh, really? Oh, my God. How?
They moved to minus – there was a 28-cent move at 10:14 a.m. Total-wise, this opened up 6.5, slightly juiced to the under. There's been a 6-cent move to that look on the under 6.5 here. Vamelka versus Hellebuck. Arizona playing good hockey. 27-32-11, 7-21-8. The group of guys on the ice I like. Everything else about this franchise I despise. I don't want them in the NHL, and I hate them.
I mean, I guess the answer is they're putting it together at home, but then on the road they'll be like, all right, let's just mail it in, and then we get back home, start trying again.
There seems to be, I mean, they're 7-21-8 on the road. So in 36 games, they've won in regulation 7 times. I mean, that's pitiful. The Jets 39-29-3, 21-12-2 at home. Canada Life Center used to be a really tough place to play. That was in the days of Dustin Byfuglien, the days when this team, it was sold out and they were so excited to have a franchise back, and it was just bananas, and they would, those times are gone. They're not a tough team to play. They do have some skill and some talent. Hellebuck has been really good this year. A bounce back season for him. He looked like Vezina quality for the first half of the season. Arizona comes in off its 4th straight win, 4-2 at home over the Blackhawks on Saturday night. The Jets suffered their 3rd loss in 4 games, 3-0 at the Blues on Sunday, and they've lost center Sam Gagner and Cole Perfetti for the season. It's amazing that Gagner, with all the difficulty he's had keeping a job in the NHL, has 1,000 games. It goes to show his heart and character, but he's done for the year now. Arizona is just playing good hockey. I expect the Jets to smash, but I don't want the Jets at this number at all. Not even no chance, But I expect, they're an angry group. They just got shut out by Hofer.
I'll tell you the other thing I've learned recently, Jimmy the Bag, in the NHL. When you have a team that really just pretty much just kind of sucks, right? And then it's a spot where you expect them to smash. A lot of times they don't. They lose again. You know what I mean? Totally. I can't take Winnipeg here.
Not a chance. And I don't want the Coyotes, but I certainly thought about them. I thought about the Coyotes and the Blue Jackets for some time. So
under's interesting though, except Hellebuck, has he been good? I can't even no.
No, he has not been good.
I do think under is probably the way to go though. Should I do it?
You know what? I would never talk you off a spot like that.
It makes some sense, doesn't it?
It does. I still, the Jets need to play good hockey here. So,
all right, I will. I'll take that. I'll take a shot with it. That's the way I was leaning. 6.5 minus 117 current line to Pinnacle. I'll take that. Under 6.5 minus 117. Arizona, Winnipeg.
Let's roll on. Pistol Pete, Kraken, Dallas Stars next up.
Another interesting game, right? Dallas. Wow. I haven't been following day in and day out your NHL takes, Jimmy the Bag. But did you jump on this Dallas train a couple of weeks ago when they started winning and scoring game in and game out? This is an impressive friggin' team, right? Back home after a 6-game trip, they played Seattle twice in a row recently, beat them both times. Now they're at Dallas. I have to think that Seattle, at least first period, and maybe team total over are the ways to go here. But Dallas is an impressive team, a legit impressive team, aren't they?
They're a good hockey team, as much as it pains me to say it. They have a great group of forwards, a lot of talent, a lot of depth. They opened up minus 157. They're now minus 155. Totals wise, opened up at 6. It's now at 6.5, so it's gone up to half. Nutflush Allen looking at that Arizona, the 2.5 team total for Arizona right now.
You like the over?
Easy. Sorry. I imagine. I imagine that he's on the over team total over, but we'll have to hear from him here. I'd let us know. Ski Profit leaning towards the Kraken. Sean Pullingham looking at Seattle money line. I understand. Do we have Martin Jones in between the pipes? Are we going to have Grubauer? Do we know who?
I'm seeing Grubauer expected.
Okay, Grubauer expected. That makes sense. Ottinger on the other side, 30-10-10, 2.46 goals against average, 9.18 save percentage, 4 shutouts. Seattle 6-3-1 over their past 10, 16.7% power play, 83.3% penalty killing. Dallas 7-3-0, 29% power play, 81.5% penalty killing. Kraken coming off their 4th loss in 5 games, 6-4 at home to the Oilers on Saturday. They're missing Andrei Burakovsky, left winger, who could come back any minute, and they really need him. And right winger John Hayden. Donskoy is done for the season and possibly his career. Possibly going to be forced to retire due to concussions. Dallas snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 6-5 overtime win at Calgary on Saturday. Mason Marchment, Tyler Seguin are out for the Stars, and Marchment adds a lot of toughness. I can understand why you guys think that Seattle will show something here. And Dallas is not a very trustworthy hockey team. as good as they are, they've won 17 of 34 games at home in regulation. Half of their games they've won at home in regulation. That's not very good. And they're huge favorites generally at home, or decent-sized favorites. I understand the look on the Kraken. It's been pretty ugly watching them play. Imagine what they do if they had a goaltender, which they don't. And so I can completely understand the value of Kraken as a dog after losing to the Stars twice at home. I can understand the look that you guys have. I'm not going to be able to bet it myself, though.
Yeah, they're just not a very good team. Is that accurate, Jim?
No, it's not accurate. The Kraken. Every time we start thinking they're a bad team, all year long they've shown character and they've played pretty well. This is a team that's 22-9-3 on the road. We just talked about the Stars winning 17 of 34 games at home in regulation. The Kraken have won 22 of 34 games on the road in regulation. They
do seem to be playing better on the road. Like their last road trip, they swept.
And Browns Hughes, I just popped in the chat. The Z code system run line calculator there. You're all good, my man. So I don't trust the Dallas Stars character. I don't, and I can completely understand the feel you guys have for the Kraken. I just have not liked what I've been seeing from them, and of course that's been at home, but also it's the end of a long season, and they're led by Matty Berniers. They're led by youth. And the physical abuse that they suffer will take its toll. So Big Lucci, like in Seattle puck line, I'm off of this game, but I would gladly cheer for you guys on the Kraken.
All right, I will. I'll take it. I'll give you something. Let's give Jimmy the Bag something to cheer for here. I'll take the Kraken. It's again. If they were a better team, the lines might not be as good as they are. So I'll take Seattle first period plus 123. That's current line at Pinnacle. First period plus 123, and I'm also going to take a shot with the team total over, which will be 2.5 minus 130. Current line at Heritage.
Kraken first period plus 123, and what was the second one?
Team total over 2.5 minus 130. Current line at Heritage.
All right, you're locked in. Alfred 44, liking it. Okay, let's move on. We have 2 more games before it is time to talk college basketball. Next up for us, 10 p.m. Eastern, Calgary Flames at Anaheim Ducks. And watching the Flames struggle brings great joy to my life. Take it away, Pete.
Man, Calgary on a back-to-back got blasted at L.A. last night. Got blasted 8-2. And 50-50 over the last 10 games or so, but before that, just kind of losing. So I don't know. I mean, normally I'd be like, all right, you give me Calgary first period at plus 110, I'll take it. But at minus whatever, 200 or whatever the hell they opened as, even on a back-to-back getting blasted, they're just not a reliable team. Anaheim is also not good, but they're getting a huge dog line here against another struggling team. And Anaheim officially eliminated from the playoffs. I don't like fading those teams necessarily. Right after they get eliminated from the playoffs, that is where the Ducks are. And Anaheim they've been losing, but they've been competitive. And they also, like Detroit and some other teams, have some young players that they're developing, low pressure, not worried about losing. And I don't know. I kind of want to pull the trigger on Anaheim here, but want to hear what you guys have to say about it first.
This is an interesting game because any other spot, the Flames on the second half back-to-back after getting embarrassed 8-2 at the Kings last night. Any other time you'd want to back the Flames. But it's become very clear that this group of hockey players wants their coach fired. They want Daryl Sutter fired, and now they're showing us, like we had them in Vegas. They were favorites in Vegas. A team that's not going to make the playoffs in the Flames were actually the favorites. And when we talked about it, Dennis Garcia said, this is, one of the, I forget how he worded it. He's so well spoken. I don't want to quote him and hatchet it up, but he basically intimated that even the market knows how good this hockey team is, basically. even though they've been losing. And sure enough, they won 7-2 that night. So the players are showing, look, we can beat the best team in the league, but we can also just let go and give up. Now Kadri, bitching as well, which I don't like seeing. So I can't trust that the Flames are going to bounce back because they clearly want Daryl Sutter gone. They opened up at -211, now -224. Total wise, it's opened up at 6.5 -107 to the over. It's now -106 to the over. Danzo, nice to see you, man. Gibson has at times looked very good this year, and at times he's looked awful. The Calgary penalty killing is at 92.9%, so if Anaheim can't score on their power play, which is just 17.4% over the past 10 games, but they have Mason McTavish and they have Trevor Zegras and they have players who can step up. But if they're not going to be able to do that, then how are they going to succeed here? The Ducks coming off their third loss in 4 games, 2-1 home versus the Nucks on Sunday, still without Adam Henrique, who could come back, and Jamie Drysdale, a defenseman who could come back, but Vakanainen done for the year. I don't know. I don't know really what's going on in that dressing room. And because I don't, and I have a suspicion that they want Daryl Sutter fired, and they're doing that, they're playing a certain way to get him fired.
And but then adding to all the wackiness, a huge move towards Calgary, right?
You mean market-wise?
Yeah, since the overnight line. Maybe not huge, but double digits.
Yeah. No, legit. Nuff Flushing says Gibson has to be a fade spot here. This is really difficult from a camera. We can't just have faith in the numbers anymore if a team wants their coach fired. The Browns Hughes says Ducks looked absolutely terrible against the Canucks the other night. You can't see the Ducks scoring at all here. I can't. I don't know what's going on. When I don't know what's going on, I have a feeling that the Flames are just going to bottom out here and get their coach fired. But it's one thing saying that, and it's another thing the players showing no heart out here. I'm off the spot.
God, this is one of those games where it's like it's in the basket of ugly dogs where one way or another, 40% of them will win and you cash,
Yeah, I get it. There are some interesting dogs. This was not one of them for me because how do you fade a team that lost 8-2 the night before? That's a really good hockey team. Oh, it's because they're not trying anymore because they want their coach fired. If that's a legitimate angle, then you can bank on it and bet it. But I don't know if it is. This is my feeling and my thoughts. I don't really know what's going on. So I'm just off of this spot. I got enough action.
Yeah, I hear you. I do hear you, Jimmy. So is Anaheim? Sorry, I'm about to pull the trigger on Anaheim -1. Is Anaheim really that inept though? I mean,
their forward group is being pitiful. They're in players who I expected to be much better haven't been. Zegras is having, I think, McTavish probably too, but Zegras clearly having a tough time coming to the rink every day to losing. It weighs on some of these young kids who are not used to losing. And then their defense is being absolutely atrocious. So
absolutely, huh? And then Calgary. All right, you know what I'll do? I'll just play it a little safe. I'll just take the Anaheim team total over. What do you think about that, Jim? It's okay?
Yeah, I don't dislike it. I don't. The Flames are such an enigma right now.
Yeah.
So
they might win, but if they do, I think it'll probably be higher scoring. I'll take a Pinnacle line, Anaheim, team total over 2.5 -113. Current line of Pinnacle.
Anaheim, team total over 2.5 -119?
113.
-113. You are in a business. Okay, let's roll. Final game on the board. This is a really interesting one for us. The Canucks Knights. And let me just set it up before you set the table. One of the reasons that makes it so interesting is we have two of our cappers who we love and believe in dearly on opposite sides of the fence here.
Yeah.
We have our guy Birdie who says Canucks is the best bet on the board tonight in his opinion. They're finally playing great. No one has been better. The Canucks last 10, and we are getting plus money. Canucks best bet for me today. And then on the other side, we have our Ron Crawford, who is on the Vegas Golden Knights with his spreadsheet play of the day. Shout out to both of these gentlemen whom we love dearly, Birdie as well as Ron Crawford. Set us a table, Pete, my man. Final game on the board before we get into college basketball with Dabra Cadabra.
Yeah, I got nothing on this one. I was thinking maybe over, maybe Vancouver team total over, but in general, I don't have a good feel for Vegas. I mean, obviously Vegas is a good team, but when should you bet on them and for how long and for how much? I don't really know. Pass for me. Want to hear what you guys have to say about it.
Being a clear market move towards Vancouver Canucks. The Knights opened up minus 140. They're now minus 128. Total wise, it's opened up over 6.5 minus 104. It's now over 6.5 minus 119. A 15-cent move to the over. Alfred says they're my two favorite teams. I've noticed Vegas, Carolina often split when playing on the same days. Real Deal Prime doesn't have too many NHL bets tonight. I don't think this is that kind of a card that is so set up. Nasty Nate says, sounds like the kids got you. No, I'm about to get bet. Like I'm pretty much better now. I got sick. I was sick last week. The kids got me sick. I'm pretty much better. I'm pretty much like I'm so close to being 100%. So I'm gonna be good to go. I'm Money in the Bank. Enough Flush on says Canucks last few days in LA. Did they enjoy the nightlife? Question there. We have Quick against Demko. Demko playing really well. Quick trying to keep his career together here. And if he went on a big run in the Knights through the playoffs, then you damn right he'll keep his career together. Both teams are 8-2 over their past 10. Both teams' special teams would be nice. Vegas 27.3% power play, 78.9% penalty killing. Vancouver 22.6% power play and 83.9% penalty killing. Vegas comes in off their fifth win in 6 games, 7-2 at home over Columbus on Sunday. They have injury issues. I know their goaltending is just completely beat up, which necessitated the need for Johnny Quick. But they have been out. Mark Stone, their captain's been out with a back injury for months now. But they've added some depth pieces to that. Right winger Keaton Colasar and center Nicholas Roy are out of this. I should say Nicholas Waugh, I guess. But I believe they pronounce it whatever. Vancouver comes in off their 7th win in 8 games, 2-1 at Anaheim on Sunday. Vancouver still awaiting Philip Hronek to make his debut. They're without Oliver Ekman-Larsson, which is good. Travis Dermott and Tucker Pullman. So they're out 4 defensemen, but it's not quite as bad as it seems. So with all this being said, I can see both sides of the puzzle here. I almost just feel like just for my own sanity, I can't bet the Canucks. I also want the Knights to not win the division, and it looks like they're going to. So I would love it if the Canucks could win this game, but I just can't bet on the Canucks or I'll completely I just get so angry. I get so filled with rage. And it's just not healthy for me to bet them or talk about them or watch them. I fucking hate them. I hate Aquilini. I hate the management decisions that have been made, and I despise Tyler Myers and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I just fucking hate them so much, Pete. And I can't even talk about this hockey team without fucking losing it. So I don't want to talk about it.
No, I feel you. And also, hate speech is not really acceptable in 2023, Jimmy the Bag. So
I fucking
better probably just to say nothing.
No, I fucking hate them. I hate them so much. And if I could ski mask Aquilini, first I'd ski mask his son just to get in his head. And then I'd ski mask Aquilini a few days later. If I could do that, I would be doing a service to the people of Vancouver. And I wouldn't be done. If I could get away with the first couple ski masks, I would move on. There's managers of this once proud franchise that I would ski mask with a big smile on my face. But I got to stop talking about it here. Do you want to move on this spot?
No, definitely not.
Okay, so Knights, Canucks, we're going to move on from. All right, let's review all NHL action before we get into college basketball action. And we've been running decent. Last week in NHL, over our 4 shows, I went 11-8 plus 3.25 units. We're running decent. Ottawa, Boston, we are off. I'm on the Sabres -1, and so is Pistol Pete Loshak. He got -1 at plus 112. And I got -1 plus 104. Billy Friedrich says, make sure to wear shoes about 3 sizes too big. When you do it, it'll throw the authorities off the case, but then I'll trip and fall on my way out, man. But I hear you. It's a good idea, though. It's a good idea. And you're right, Slotsy. Let's just move on past it. I'm on the Lightning -1.5, -110. Loshak's on the Habs first period at plus 167. Hurricanes, Rangers, we stayed off. I'm on the Devils -1. And Loshak's on the under 6 at -106. And I'm adding the under 6. I am adding it. No, Flush. I can't. Those are where I've been told that I can't talk about my feelings of what I want to do to Mullet Arena. That there are some trigger words when I talk about that aren't acceptable. But no, I want it to go tick, tick, boom. Maybe that will work. Loshak's on Philadelphia team, total over 2.5, and the Flyers first period of plus 131, as well as the Flyers -1 at plus 275. I want to know if Kuznetsov is playing in this Blue Jackets Capitals game. Loshak's on the second period, over 1.5 at minus 192. Loshak's on the Leafs first period at minus 113. I think I'm going to add the Leafs -1, so I think that'll be a second edition for me. I'm going to add the Blues -1, so that'll be my third edition. I made 4 bets before the show. Loshak's on the under 6.5 in Detroit, St. Louis. Loshak's on the under 6.5 in Arizona, Winnipeg. Loshak's on the Kraken first period at plus 123, and the team total over 2.5 at minus 130. And Anaheim team total over 2.5 for Loshak as well. And then we left that Canucks Knights game alone.
And I do know that Nutflush Allen is trying to warn me off Arizona Winnipeg under. I hear you, Nutflush, and thanks for the warning. I can't take it back now, but I did read your comment.
No, Nutflush Allen. I don't think I made it clear. Keep the gas cans. Keep the gas cans. That's all I'll say there. All right, Billy Friedrich says, man, this was a brisk pace, 13 games, about 75 minutes. We just a tiny bit late from when I said that we would be doing college basketball with our man, Dabra Cadabra. So without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching us here on Pub Sports Radio. It's been a good tournament so far, decent. I'm 16-13 plus 1.6 units. We have a little reprieve from the tournament, and we get into NIT CBI action. Let's bring on a man who went 8-2 on our show on Tuesday and Wednesday last week, and there was all action for Thursday, Friday. But let's bring him on right now and hope he stays hot with us. Please welcome from Dallas, Texas, a man I will see and Pete will see here in 48 hours. The Magic Man, Dabra Cadabra.
What up? I was confused
nice.
if we were doing San Antonio or the intro, but you said it. 48 hours, Jimmy. I'm so fucking excited. I think I might make the trip tomorrow because I'm ready to be down there.
I'm excited too, man. I'm excited too. The Friday is going to be live. We have a big live stream on Thursday night, by the way. I have decided that we'll be live for all 4 college basketball games. So and not every, come in, come out. We'll be drinking, partying together at the bar, but we're going to be live for all 4 of those college basketball games. So we have a big March Madness Mayhem live stream from the Southtown 101 on Thursday night. But let's keep making money here after this whole season, all the ups and downs. I'm so close to the black. I'm 163 and 150, down down 2.0 units. I don't have it up here. I won't bother pulling up, but I'm so close to the black. I want the black. Let's get to the black. Let's get to work here move over here. Sorry. Okay, NIT action here. And we've got a great way to get rolling because not only have we heard from Ron Crawford that the spreadsheet play today is Texas plus 4.5. We have also heard. Okay, Jose. Jose, we can move it if we need. So I don't know. Sorry, I wasn't. Okay, we'll talk about that, Jose. My bad. I was trying to find a game that we should hammer, and I was like, let's just hammer them all. That's usually my excuse. Now, this isn't the Taint play of the day, but the man, the star of Taint, has also given us North Texas. So we have the corner of Spreadsheet and Taint Boulevard on North Texas. He says, yes, sir, but not Taint. I still wanted to drop Taint play of the day run. North Texas Mean Green, 28-7, 9-3 on the road this year. They've been very good. These first 2 games that they played have been at home at the Super Pit. They're at Oklahoma State Cowboys, 20-15, 12-5 at home. And we're in Stillwater, Oklahoma for this one. Let's start with the line history here in this. Move over to college hoops, and let's go. So we have 2 of our guys here on here we go, on North Texas. Let's take a look at this line movement. This opened up at Pinnacle with North Texas plus 5 at minus 102. They're now plus 4 at minus 108. They got down to 4 minus 104 30 minutes ago. Now 4 more cents of juice. So there was movement on Oklahoma State at this number. Total wise, opened up at 124, has dropped down to 121.5, a 2.5 point drop. Cash wise here, we have 83% of the tickets and 86% of the cash on North Texas. Now, the market has moved off that opening line of 5, but that is a little uncomforting to have all of that money on it. I know you guys, know I had Duke making the Final Four, but when Duke played Tennessee, at one point there was 97% of the cash on Duke. It went down to 93% of the cash, and I was like, okay, well, of course, I'm not going to bet a team with that much money on them. It just didn't feel right. What I should have done was had a little hedge there on Tennessee, but I digress. 83% of tickets, 98% of the cash on the under, and we've seen that drop 2.5 points. So we've seen some fear there. North Texas opened up their NIT with an easy 69-53 win at home over Alcorn State at 16.5-point favorites at home. And then they beat Sam Houston in impressive fashion, 75-55 at home. And they were just 5-point favorites in that one. They shot 52% from the field and 55.2% from three. Oklahoma State opened their tournament with a 69-64 victory at Youngstown State as 5-point favorites before defeating Eastern Washington at home on Sunday as 10.5-point favorites. Take it away for us, Pistol Pete, before we hear from Dabra Cadabra. What are your thoughts here? North Texas, Mean Green, Oklahoma State, Cowboys.
Yeah, well, I did hit 3 totals on this card that all have moved significantly, so I don't know if I'd hit them now. And this was one of them. I got 124, which could lose, but I could not pull the trigger on it. Now it's down to 121.5. I don't know. If I didn't have that 124, I'd probably hold off. And it feels like North Texas would be the side here. I didn't bet that one. Makes me a little bit nervous. I might pull the trigger on North Texas first half and then do something at halftime maybe. But I did take the under at 124.
Let me copy and paste my guy Tone. Tone Miggins is got Charlotte first half minus 2.5 for 2 units. Copy and paste that. Dabby, take it away for us. Your thoughts here, North Texas, Mean Green, Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Yeah. So this UNT team, they've won 5 of their last 6. They've also won 5 of their last 6 road games. They're playing good on offense, putting up a little over 71 points per game their last 3 games during this tournament, hitting 76% of their free throws, which is huge in small spreads like this. Oklahoma State has been playing good also. They've won 4 of their last 5, but they're not playing very well offensively. They've scored less than 65 points per game on average in their last 3 games. And in that time, they've been hitting less than 40% of their shots, which is just terrible. They've also turned the ball over 16 times per games in the last three games, which is a fuck ton of turnovers. You don't want to see that. And that's just in the last 3 games. And UNT's been dominant defensively, especially on the road. They're averaging more than 6 turnovers a game. I expect them to turn Oklahoma State over here. I think UNT is the right side. I'm not getting to the window with this one, but I definitely understand why Ron Crawford and Matty Ice are on it.
I do too. My concern, we talked about the cash, obviously, but away from that is just you watch a team hit 55.2% from 3 in a second straight home game, and then they have to head out to Stillwater. And do you expect them to shoot like that? That is my concern. And I love that I love the corner around Crawford and Taint Boulevard. I love Pete on the under 124, but it just doesn't correlate enough for me to jump on as well with North Texas today. And I kind of understand it from Mike M looking at it like North Texas huge public dog versus an Oklahoma State team in stomp mode. Oklahoma State's been winning but not covering due to last minute line moves. Now you take a little off the edge for Oklahoma State. I can see that he's thinking about Oklahoma State. And I honestly, if I didn't know that Ron and Matt were on North Texas, I would be on Oklahoma State now, I think too, but I'm not going to. So I'm off of this spot. Pete, anything you want to make official, or do we move on to the next spot?
No, we can move on.
NIT quarters next up for us. The 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Wisconsin Badgers, Whiskey 19-14, 5-6 on the road this year. Oregon Ducks 21-14, 15-5 at Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene, Oregon. Let's take a look at the line history for this one. we have a big move towards whiskey. Some offshores had them at 5-point dogs. Pinnacle opened them up at 4.5, and they're now at 3. A big move towards whiskey. Totals wise, it's opened up at 134.5. It's now at 131.5. Take a look at the cash flow here. We have 32% of the tickets and 62% of the cash on Oregon. It's pretty wild if that's the case, because there's some money coming on Oregon as we talk about it, but why would the market be moving so quickly towards Wisconsin if the bigger bets weren't on them, which they aren't? Total wise, we don't know the percentage of the cash, but we know 89% of tickets are on the under. Wisconsin opened up their tournament with a comfortable 81-62 victory at home over Bradley as 3-point favorites before beating Liberty at home 75-71 as 4-point favorites. Oregon opened up their tournament with an 84-58 win at home over UC Irvine as 5-point favorites. Then they defeated UCF at home 68-54 as 2.5-point favorites. They're beating teams badly here, and they're at home. What do you think here, Pistol Pete, whiskey, Oregon?
Yeah, again, I got under 134.5. Now it's down to 132. If I didn't have that, I probably would take it still at 132. So maybe I'll make that official. Oregon has a couple of their top scorers out, and they're just playing a good defense. I had the under. I think I talked about that on the. I don't remember when I had the under in the Central Florida game, and maybe it was on. It was on Sunday when I talked about it, and I like that one, and that one cashed. And Wisconsin, of course, very amenable to low scoring games. So I still like the under even after the move.
What do you think about that, Daby Cab? Take it away, Badgers, Ducks.
This is such a tough game to cap because of the injury situation. Oregon's been okay. They've been taking advantage of smaller schools, is what I would say, in these first early games. Their top 3 players have been out, and they're still listed as day-to-day. With this being the NIT, I don't expect them to come back. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't see any of those 3 guys coming back. I don't see any push for the NIT to do that. With Wisconsin on the other side, they don't have any big injuries. Their 4 top players are healthy. And not only are they healthy, they played a ton, major minutes in their last few games. Hepburn's been good. Stephen Crow has been dominant down low for this team in the paint. And really, this comes down to me. I lean heavy on Wisconsin here. I don't like going against Oregon at home. I don't have the number in front of me. I think Oregon's 15-5 at home this year. You can check me if somebody sees that might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Oregon's 15-5 this year at home. They're a dominant home team. They got that ugly ass basketball court that they defend and play well on. And for that reason, I'm staying off here, but I think Wisconsin would definitely be the side in this spot.
And actually, Jim, you can make it official. Heritage has 132. You can make that official. Under 132 minus 108.
Loshak has the under 132 at minus 108. I understand this look on Wisconsin or nothing, but again,
15.
I don't feel comfortable with them heading out on the road. But that's the only thing that's holding me back, and I kind of just want everything to correlate. Big shout out to Dre in the house, on top of our leaderboard in the Pub Sports Radio bracket contest in first place, tied with Matty Ice. Our guy Dre Mati. 44 points. A point behind is Pistol Pete Loshak and Fern Dizzle. 2 points behind Dre and Matty Ice is Clint, Spenny, J Dub, and Latchy. And then 3 points back is Buck Nasty. 4 points back, Nasty Nate, Dennis Garcia, Preston Ekdahl, myself, and Mama Bag. So it's tight up there. Alfred says can't fade Oregon at this point, but the movement is interesting. Okay, it looks like I'm not going to have action on NIT, but I do have some interest in the under. So I will put asterisks toward that. And I want action. So let's see if we can find it in the CBI. Semifinals of the CBI, 7 p.m. Eastern. These games are all at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida. Semifinal 1. Southern Utah Thunderbirds 24-12 versus Eastern Kentucky Colonels 22-13. Let's go to the line history here for this one. And I've liked Eastern Kentucky all year, but Southern Utah is a real good team. Southern Utah opening up at -3.5. They're now -4. This has happened once before. It got up to 4, got bet down to 3.5. It's back at 4 once again. Get over to the total here. This opened up at 157. It's dropped 5 points to 152. A huge move towards the under. Wow. Then cash-wise, we have no help with just 2,000 tickets counted. We have no help with the spread. Total, we do 61% of the tickets, 77% cash on the under. The market moving towards the under. Southern Utah opened up their tournament with a 72-50 win over North Alabama as 9.5-point favorites. Followed that up with a tight 81-79 victory here over Rice last night as 5-point favorites. Eastern Kentucky comes off its second straight overtime win. On Saturday, they defeated Cleveland State 91-75 in overtime. They outscored Cleveland State 17-1 in the 5 extra minutes. They're 1.5-point favorites in that one. Before they defeated Indiana State last night 89-88 in overtime as 6.5-point dogs. Tone Miggins says over. Tone Miggins thinks this has dropped too far. Steph Brosco liking Southern Utah. And Billy Friedrich is on Eastern Kentucky first half and full game. So no consensus here. Pete, CBI semis. Thunderbirds, Colonels.
No opinion on this one. Looked at it. Got nothing on it. Pass.
Daby Cab, Southern Utah, Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, Southern Utah, decent on defense this year, but in the tournament, they've been outstanding. They've been holding opponents to just over 33% shooting and barely over 64 points per game. Their offense hasn't been rolling yet in this tournament, but on the season, Southern Utah's offense was outstanding, putting up 82 points per game on 46% shooting. Just great. And, with all that being said, I think the Thunderbirds can win this one comfortably. Southern Utah is going to push the tempo in this game. And I think EKU is a team that you'll see that they struggle with that when the tempo gets lifted a little bit on them. They already let in this tournament another opponent shoot over 50% in a game. And this is a Southern Utah team that's going to, I think, take advantage of that defense if the defense is a little lackluster like it has been. So I lean Southern Utah pretty heavily in this one. Again, I haven't bet it.
2 straight overtime games as well. Now, in the next game we're going to talk about, there is a rest advantage. But here, do you feel like the 2 straight overtime games, it's not like, Southern Utah had a relaxing victory over North Alabama to get it started. And then they played a tight game against, Rice. But do you feel like there is a advantage with Southern Utah here, just rest-wise, not playing back-to-back overtime games?
There's definitely advantage if you look into that. And I know people are going to be like, oh, they're college kids. I don't give a shit. Playing back-to-back overtime games is exhausting. I don't care if you're 18 years old or not. There
is a big rest advantage here because and I thought this was only in the next game. My bad. This isn't both of them. So we have a huge rest advantage with Southern Utah because they played on the 18th, had the night off, and then played on the 20th, where Eastern Kentucky's had to play on the 19th and the 20th. That's a huge advantage for Southern Utah. There's Jeff Arp in the house. Says, enjoy Pubapalooza next year, Jeff. Got to come with us, man. Next year, get it in the schedule. I think that's too big of an advantage, in all honesty. I really do. Pete, touch on the rest. You have Eastern Kentucky, 3rd game in 3 nights, both went into overtime. And then you have Southern Utah, who got a really comfortable first game and then a complete night off. Don't you think that do you think that this time of the year that it could really help Southern Utah?
In my experience and opinion, which take it for what it's worth, it's very, team and opponent specific and dependent. But there's a lot of times in conference tournaments when you'll see a team playing like, a team that wasn't that good in the regular season, suddenly they start playing well in the conference tournament. They're playing like a 4th day, especially like the Big East and shit, some 8th seed in the Big East, and they're playing a 4th game in a row, and they're like, how are they going to do it again? But they do it. So I think about it for sure, but I take it with more of a grain of salt now than I used to when I first started. 15 or 30 years ago, whatever that was.
I'm going to need more time here. But
I want to say one thing, too, on that close game that Southern Utah played. They had a 16-point lead. It just completely dissolved in the second half. So they were up comfortably at one point in that game.
I am starting to feel like they're the side here. I wish I was able to take a look at the amount of cash and tickets. So I may just wait on it. I may just wait. So I'd like to know. Okay, but let's move on to the final game here, CBI semis. And let's let our guy Tom Miggins lead us into it. The levels play of the day is Charlotte first half -2.5. Charlotte 49ers being backed by our Tom Miggins. Charlotte 49ers 20-14 versus the Radford Highlanders 21-14. Again, we're at Ocean Center in Daytona Beach for this one. Let's take a look at let's take a look at the line history here. We have Charlotte opening up at -3.5. They're now -5. They got to -5 for a second time. The last time they got to -5, it went down to 4.5 immediately. But back at 5 once again. So actually, this will be the third time. So then they went back to 4.5, pretty immediate, and now they're back at 5 once more. So some people believe that the 5 is too many points. This total opened up at 129.5 and has dropped 6.5 points. 6.5 points down to 123. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one. CBI. Here we go. 30% of the tickets and 77% of the cash is on Radford. 30 and 77. Wow. And then 30% of tickets, 77% of cash on Radford, but the market moving towards Charlotte. And then you have 33% of tickets, 77% cash on the over, and yet the total just keeps dropping. And Millsy says, get your tickets for K-State Wildcats Final Four. Says if you don't bring this comment up, you're a hater. Says Millsy. So Charlotte opened up their tournament with a 65-56 win over Western Carolina as 6-point favorites before beating Milwaukee 76-65 as 5-point favorites. Radford opened up their tournament with a 72-70 overtime win over Tarleton as 1-point dogs before taking out San Jose State as 6.5-point dogs. Again, Charlotte played Saturday and Monday. So Radford playing for the third consecutive night. Take it away for us, Pistol Pete. Any interest in Charlotte 49ers versus Radford?
Yeah, I mean, I swear I got 128.5 on the under. I got that, and I don't think I can give the full game under right now, although it'd probably be a lean. If I had to make a bet on a total, I'd probably take a shot with first half under at 56.5 or whatever it is. But I took 128.5 on the under on the overnight line, and can't give it officially now where it is right now.
No, you can't. I get it. What do you think here, Daby Cab? Take it away.
One thing, and I know this doesn't really help this one, but both these teams have made you money if you've been backing them this year. Radford, 18-14-1 against the spread this year. Charlotte, 20-14. I mean, you've been making money backing either of these teams here. Charlotte's 20-13. 20-13-1 against the spread this year. 6-3-1 their last 10 games. This is another tough one. For me, what it comes down to is I think that Radford, I think they're just the hotter team right now. Radford's got the 41st best scoring defense in the nation, and the 49ers on the other side, they rank 305th in scoring defense. Radford's led by Smith. He's been killing it, shooting nearly 40% from the field this year. And I think he's going to be the deciding factor in this game. I think this game could be close. But I think Radford pulls away with it at the end.
I like what Tone's doing with Charlotte early. I'm a little uncomfortable with this spot. I guess it's funny. I want to have some action, but it seems like it'll only be Southern Utah. But I'm not going to move on it till I see. I don't want to make a bet and then find out this is an extremely public side I'm on. So I'm going to wait to get some more information from the marketplace. But at this point, we have Ron Crawford and Matty Ice both on North Texas at +4.5. Now, it's not the taint play of the day, but Matty Ice is betting it. We have Loshak on the under 132 in Wisconsin, Oregon. He got that at a better line, and he got the under in Charlotte Radford at a better line, so he's not giving that out. Tone Miggins' levels play today is Charlotte first half -2.5. And I would like to back Southern Utah here, but I'm going to wait and see what sort of cash situation we have. So, Daby Cab, tomorrow we're going to have a very short amount of games, but it's your chance because we have. Oh no, you can. Let me see.
Yeah, that's what I asked you in the text. Are we going to go live together while we're in San Antonio
on Thursday night? Sure, but I got to figure out when. Oh, you mean Friday morning? Yeah, Friday morning for sure. Yeah, cool. Definitely.
So tomorrow I'll bring in some of the games for Thursday. How about that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Bring in just your looks. We don't need to, we're not going to get a chance to go over. I'm not going to get a chance to break them down. So maybe we should break down Thursday's card together tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, great job, Daby Cab, and great job on the tournament, my friend. Follow Daby Cab on Twitter at Daby Cab. And if you want to hang with us, man, 48 hours, we set foot in Texas, baby. So, Daby, any last words to the Capper Sporting Show?
Man, I can't wait. Can't wait to fucking hang out with you guys. 48 hours, like Jimmy said. I might even head down to San Antonio tomorrow because it's just a 3-hour drive for me. So I'll see you guys soon. Let's get that fucking money today.
There he is. Cadabra. We move on to NBA. Next up, we go from Dallas to Compton with our guy, OG Lowbagger. Won our first poker tournament at the IFBC in Vegas, and he's coming back again for another chance to cash. Our poker tournament is Friday night, and you need to sign up. So let's get the sign-up sheets up. Please sign up if you're available, especially everybody in Texas. We know there's going to be a whole bunch of Texas cappers that maybe we don't know as well. Maybe they are is always in the chat, but we're so excited to meet you all. So please sign up for all of these events that we have going on. There is the Google Doc right there to sign up. So please sign up for our events that we have going on. Let's bring them on, though. Man, we all love very dearly here to help guide us through the National Basketball Association. Please welcome Wham Bam 3000. Wham, what up?
What's up, guys? What's good, man? Y'all see where I'm at? You know what I'm saying? Don't beat me there. And it looked like y'all got lost out in that. I'm already at Southtown 101. Y'all know what it is, man. What's up with LJ? MMA, Billy. What's good with you, Steph?
Can you move your head a bit? I want to see the whole thing. Oh, yeah. There you go. Oh, there it is. There's the parking lot. It'll just be clouds of smoke.
This is where you parking lot pimp right here.
Clouds
we'll be over here. We'll be in this area.
Right where you are is where I'll be picking up my my electrolyte beverages.
Okay.
So that I won't be too horrifically hungover.
Little liquid IV. I understand. I'm gonna have a few of
Kraken
those.
Really gets to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a few of those.
I love it. Wham Bam already at the Southtown.
Come on. Where y'all at?
Oh man, we're not freezing anymore. We've gone into plus temperatures, so the snow is melting, which I'm very thankful for. Wham Bam 3000. It is time to get to work. Billy Friedrich says, get those grilled cheese lined up for Jimmy. Yeah, as the more I drink, the more difficult eating becomes. So yeah, I'm a big grilled cheese guy. I hate it. Let's just move on. Okay, we start at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're building back in NBA. We went 11-2 2 weeks ago. This past week, 9-7 plus 1.35 units. We're just going to take it 1 week at a time and climb out of this hole. And we are on our way. Let's get to work here. These Tuesdays have been very profitable with Wham Bam. 7 p.m. Eastern, Washington Wizards 32-39, 16-21 on the road at the Orlando Magic, 29-43, 16-19 at home. Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. I almost bet Washington. I came very close to betting Washington, and I stopped myself. Said, let's just talk it out. And there's Bo Jackson on Magic money line, so it's good that we're talking it out. Washington 1-4. Leonard Portier says, how's the Wham video clip coming? We have not got it finished yet. We've not got, but I know exactly what we want to do. And now that we got Jose back from Miami, it's just been a very busy time. And Jose puts in ridiculous hours. So we have not added that project onto his, there. Dre says he's bringing electrolytes for everyone Saturday morning. Respect.
Well,
respect.
Turn that up.
Washington 1-4 over the past 5, playing the pace 97.2 possessions a game. Orlando 2-3, playing the pace of 100.60 possessions a game. The bet on the Wizards to make the playoffs is looking bad right now. It was looking very good, and it's fallen off with a pretty comfortable schedule. They've been putting up a lot of L's. Right now, to make the playoffs here for the Wizards, is plus 1225. What a bunch of ass clowns. All right, let's take a look at the line history here for this one, and then we'll move into the cash flow. Let's get over to NBA. Here we go. So line history wise, we saw a ton of movement in this one, and I just felt like it'd be best if I talked it out first. The market's come right back to where it was, so it's probably good that I didn't move on it. The Magic opened up at -1.5, and at one point they were dogs. Maybe the money line is a better way to explain it, but they're back at -1 now at a pick 'em basically. So money line will be the best example here. They opened up at -115. The Magic got to -127 this morning. And that was after I almost bet it. So unbelievable. So the Wizards got up to +115. Now the Wizards are back at -105. It's a complete pick 'em on the money line at -105. So total wise, this opened up at 226.5. It's dropped a half point to 226. Cash wise, 11,464 tickets. 49% of tickets and 69% of cash is on the Wizards. 54% of tickets, 85% of cash is on the under, and it's only dropped a half point. Wizards coming off their second straight loss, 132-118 at home versus Sacramento on Saturday. The recent slide has them a game and a half now out of the play-in tournament. KP missed a Saturday game due to an illness. He's expected to be good to go tonight. Kuzma has been a Jekyll and Hyde performer over the last little while, dealing with injuries. 33 points though against Sacramento. Magic coming off their third loss in 4 games, 111-105 at the Lakers on Sunday, although they beat the Clippers the game before that. Banchero and Franz Wagner each scored 21 in the loss. Mike M has this as an over spot. Take it away here first, Pete, before we hand it over to Wham Bam. Wizards, Magic.
I did look at this game. I have absolutely no friggin' clue. I mean, obviously, Orlando's been better ATS-wise, but I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea what to expect here.
Let's hear Wham Bam. Take it away for us, Wham. Wizards, Magic.
Yeah, tricky ass game, man. If you want to bet the side, I think just like you said, as far as the Washington Wizards, first thing I thought I was so close to, bro. I'm feeling the same vibe. Like right when you say you were so close to betting it last night, that was going to be the first bet I made because I just didn't understand the line. I want to hurry up and take the Wizards because I thought they would possibly be favorites by this morning here. So obviously, it is what it is. They're underdogs here, still at a weird ass spot. I'd still feel like if I would have took the bet, I probably would be feeling some type of way right now. So that's the reason why I'm staying away from the side here. I think in this game, but I think I'm right here leaning with you. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out here and win the game as far as the Wizards, especially with KB coming back. I think he's going to have a pretty good game here. But that being said, I don't think he's going to be able to stop anything down low, even though he's coming back here. I like the Wizards big man in Wendell Carter. He's been pretty much kicking ass on the double-double side of things 4 out of the last 5 games. And then I'm also thinking of adding a little insurance on his over 8.5 rebounds because that has hit 7 of the last 8 games. They're ranked 17th in opposing centers as far as allowing rebounds as far as the Wizards. So I'm thinking that's probably a good way to cover myself. But I did lock in the official play for the double-double, plus 125, tweeted that out. I think that's the best look that I got in this game because the only reason why I don't want to take the Magic is because I think they don't have to care about this game, but they are going to try to get stats. We do know that. I think the fact that you're going to have a motivated KP, Bradley Beal, this can be a back and forth game. I think it's such a tight game that stats are just going to be accumulated. It may be down to the wire. I'd rather not, hope that Bradley Beal comes out and win the game for these guys. I'm just going to stay away from the side and take the prop with Wendell Carter, double-double.
Wendell Carter, double-double. And Kuzma is out.
Yeah, Kuzma out. Kuzma's out.
Kuzma's out after putting up 33 against Sacramento. 7 points Friday at Cleveland.
Yeah.
Okay, double dub for Wendell Carter Jr. Dub. I mean, one of the things that we know is a mistake is what did you get on the double dub? Sorry,
I got a plus 125. Plus 125.
One of the problems that we get is when you're like, well, this team has to win, but we know that just doesn't necessarily mean they're going to. God, I want.
The line is telling us that they're not going to win. You know what I'm saying? The line is telling us that Orlando's in good form. and they shouldn't be underdogs at the house. You know what I mean? And the fact that it's telling me that, and I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, well, I'm gonna stay away from it. You know.
KD saying Wizards 14-24 all season after a loss. Did the Magic go out and party in LA on Sunday after the Lakers game? Because they didn't after the Clippers game. They had to play again the following night. They beat the Clippers, lose the Lakers. Did they go out? Mike M's got Orlando in an 0-9 straight up spot, straight up as a favorite. Piker
They were on a little road trip, right? Coming back home.
Yeah, all the way back from California. So they played on Sunday. So they flew. That was my whole thing was that they go out. Then on Monday they fly home, and then Tuesday they got to play again against a hungry team that needs to win. Bo Jackson
predicted making a good case for the under. The under might be. If I had to blindly bet this one now, I would take the under based on what Poker predicted. 79 posted.
And Bo Jackson explained why he is on the Magic first quarter and full game, and he calls the money on the Wizards dumb money. He says the books want the dumb money on the Wizards. If they wanted that, they'd make the Wizards a dog. The way the line's set up right now, it tells me that they want money on the Magic. After we just saw what they did in LA, they played good basketball. Now they come home. It makes me nervous seeing Bo Jackson's confidence. And that's why we talk about it. I kind of want to back the Wizards, but I can hold off for now. Wendell Carter, double is for Wham Bam. Equanimus asking, and Razor says Orlando is the play. Okay, that's why I didn't bet it, so we could talk it out. Let's move on to the next ball on the board. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Pistons 16-56, 7-27 on the road at the Atlanta Hawks 35-36, 19-15 at home. We're at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Detroit 1-4 over their past 5, playing the pace 97.3 possessions a game. Atlanta 2-3 over their past 5, playing the pace of 104.40 possessions a game. Take a look at the line history here for this one. We have. It's amazing that if you watch these Atlanta Hawks play, it's just shocking to see them play anybody, play a G League team and be 14-point favorites. But they open up at 13.5. They're now 14-point favorites over the Pistons. And totals-wise, it's opened up at 238, and it's now at 237. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. 50% of the tickets and 71% of the cash is on Detroit. But the market now 49 and 71. But the market's not moving, towards the Pistons. We don't know the total situation, but 61% of the tickets are on the under. We don't know the cash at this point. LJ from H-Town says Hawks first quarter smash spot. All good, Equanimus, my man. So Pistons coming off their third straight loss, 112-100 at home versus the Heat on Sunday. They've lost 14 of 15. Wiseman is playing well. 13.8 points, 9.3 boards a game since he was acquired. Bagley came back from injury on Sunday. He'd missed 3 games with an ankle injury. He went for 14 points. Jalen Duren remains in question. So him and Kevin Love banged heads. Love needed 4 stitches. Duren was evaluated for concussion. Hawks coming off their third loss in 4 games, 126-118 at San Antonio on Sunday. Hawks led 83-61 at halftime and then did nothing. It was just shocking. 15 points in the fourth quarter, 35 points in the second half against the Spurs. Nuts. So Atlanta is 3 games back of Miami for the 7th spot. Atlanta is in 8th. They're a half game up on Toronto, and they're 1.5 games up on the Bulls. Trae Young had 9 points in the loss. He's been dealing with a right knee issue, and sure looked like that was the case. Hard to believe that the Hawks would be this big favorites here, but LJ says Hawks first quarter smash spot. Pistol Pete, what are your thoughts here? Pistons Hawks.
My analysis of this game is no clue, ... But, I mean, if you gave me a free play, I'd definitely throw it on the Detroit team total under at 112. They have just not been scoring well. Why is that likely to change here? I don't know. I mean, I know that, Atlanta can make any game go over, but free play, I'd throw it on Detroit team total under. Definitely not going to bet that, though. And definitely not going to make it official.
Let's hear what Wham Bam has to say. State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, Wham.
Yeah, they asked us yesterday why would we want to lay a large number on the road with the Golden State Warriors when they haven't been able to win on the road at all. Seeing what happened that game yesterday. This is giving me the same vibes, even though they're at the house and the situation is a little bit better for them as far as the Hawks. But laying this big number, bro, I can only think to go with Detroit. And I had to figure out a way to do it, man. And I like you mentioned, James Wiseman. Ever since he's been on this team, he's been pretty much getting the run. And how he has the run, he looking like he's quite talented. You know what I mean? Looks like he's pretty forceful. And I love the way he's being able to stay on the floor as of late. He was having a lot of early foul trouble, so I'm hoping that he doesn't have foul trouble again today. And I'm going to go back with the double-double. Go double-double, Wiseman plus 100. Official play for me here. I think Wiseman, probably getting a little bit more run, have a little bit more of an opportunity. I seen the play with Jalen Duran. I wouldn't be surprised if he's out this game. So I kind of want to take advantage of the line right now. I think it's going to close as a favorite as far as the double-double for Wiseman. So I locked it in at plus 100. I'm not sure what it is right now. I should have looked that up before I did, but I got the plus 100 on Wiseman. I just think he's going to do it. He's had 4 of the last 6 games, especially if Duran is out the game. They didn't offer Duran props all last game, so it was kind of weird. I was looking for him. They didn't offer him at all. Obviously, Wiseman got the double-double because he was out. He exited the game as far as Jalen Duran. I think Jalen Duran's out the game today, so give me a Wiseman double-double. That's what I'm feeling.
What changes with this news? Thank you for sharing it with us, Piker, that DeJounte Murray is sick.
Oh, yeah. You know what? So is the line still at 14, though? Still, yeah. Right? Come on. I mean, how sick is he? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm actually seeing it got taken off at Heritage.
It's dropped a point to 13.
Okay.
And taken off at Heritage, which means it's probably being taken off at Pinnacle. Let me just check it out here at Pinnacle.
I still see 14. Let me see.
It's still 14 at Pinnacle. Wow, they're usually the first to pull it. Okay, so that news is coming through. They pulled it off at Bookmaker as well. Back at 13 at Bookmaker. Wow. Okay. So with DeJounte out, Trae Young dealing with the knee issues and not looking good. Do you think that he's fine? Because our guy Piker says Trae prop at this game, points per game at 27 without DeJounte. Do you agree with that?
I don't like Trae Young at all this year. Maybe without DeJounte, yeah, you're probably going to get a little bit better Trae because with DeJounte, he sucks. You know what I'm saying? He definitely sucks this year. I think I did see, was it Jaden Ivey that had an issue too? No, okay, so maybe I was mistaken with the last game. But I think this game, as far as it can only go Detroit for me, bro. I can only go Detroit at all. Like, I don't even want to touch any type of prop or anything associated with Trae Young. I mean, these boys just don't fear me. I'm not fear at all. Shout out to Kadesh Dean. He says Keldon Johnson is out. That's news there.
Okay.
DeJounte Murray is ruled out, so he's ruled all the way out.
Yeah.
So he's out of here. Okay.
Wow. And but the market was not moving, even though bigger bets had already been placed on Detroit. So it's moving now because of a player personnel situation. Okay, I don't Saturated liking your look on said he keeps coming back to that team total under for the Pistons as well, Pete. All right, let's move on. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Cleveland Cavaliers 45-28, 16-20 on the road. The Brooklyn Nets 39-32, 19-14 at home at Barclays Center. Brooklyn, New York. Cleveland 3-2 over the past 5, playing at a pace 96.5 possessions a game. Brooklyn 2-3, playing at a pace of 96.39 possessions a game. About a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Tommy didn't just say that, and I both moved on the Nets not to make the playoffs at plus 300. Then they went on a run. It moved up to plus 1,025. Got up to plus 1,225. Now it's back down to plus 500. They have lost 3 in a row. It seems like there is a chance because they play the next couple games we're going to talk about are back-to-back situations or consecutive game situations. So these teams meet for 2 games here in Brooklyn. Game 2 set for Thursday night. Let's take a look at the line history here. Open up with Cleveland. Sorry, move up here. Open up with Cleveland at -3. Now they're -3.5. Total wise, open up at 218.5, which is where it is right now. Cash wise here, we have the 85% of the tickets on the Cavaliers, 75% of the cash. It's a lot of money on the Cavs. The market's slightly moving towards them. Total wise, there's just 20% of tickets on the under, but 64% of cash. It's not dropped. It's gone up 4 cents. But, 80% of the tickets are on the other side. So Cleveland comes in off its third win in 4 games, 117-94 at home over the Wizards on Friday. This is a fresh team, fresh, playing well. They've scored at least 110 points, and 9 of their past 11. Garland went for 24 points and 9 assists, but nobody was hitting threes, and they have had a real struggle from the perimeter over the last little while. Garland 6 of 26 over his past 4. Donovan Mitchell 1 of 19 from 3 over his past 3. He still has 3 40-point games over his past 8 games, so it's not like Spider's not doing things. The Nets come off their third straight loss, 108-102 at home to Denver on Sunday, and Jacques Vaughn's been talking about over and over again how they lack energy off the top of the game. They're not playing hard in the beginning. He says they have to set a tone. He keeps talking about it over and over again. Will we see that come to fruition here? Because we've all liked kind of fading the Nets early or wanting to bet them live once they're down. They are, getting out rebounded badly. They've been out rebounded 12 of their past 15 games. And, Mikal Bridges still playing well, but Cam Johnson, all of a sudden, he's now shooting 33.6% from 3 as a Brooklyn Net. Take it away here for us, Pistol Pete, Cavs Nets.
Man, I really don't know. I guess if you gave me a free play, I guess I'd throw it on the under. What's up with the Nets? I have no clue. I guess maybe I'd be leaning Cleveland first quarter. Basically, I have no idea. Those are my thoughts, though.
Mike M says Cavs play for him. Says Cavs spot 38-7 straight up, 35-9-1 against the spread and the line moving in their direction. Rick J says Nets have no interior defense. Sabonis ate them alive. Cavs should roll. Take it away for us, Wham Bam. Cavs Nets.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Brooklyn Nets, they're just terrible at rebounding the ball. You talked about their early struggles there. Like they came out, just got torched by Jamal Murray in the last game. 20 points in the first quarter for Jamal Murray. Just pretty much went any way he wanted to go in that game. They got smacked up with a negative 12, down by 12 in the first quarter there in that last game. So I think they may still have a little issue with that early spot here. I think that Donovan Mitchell does get played pretty well against Mikal Bridges. He does play him pretty well. I think he only had 30 points 4 of the last 5 games, or something like that against Mitchell. So he hasn't really went off against Mikal Bridges. Donovan Mitchell hasn't. But as far as this game, though, man, I'm right there with the public. I'm with the money here. I'm on the Cavs. I got them at -3. That's official play for me. I just feel like this Cavs team is just a better team. They're going to rebound the ball, and then they're getting the revenge factor coming back. And Jared Allen, we know he likes to go off and get double-doubles on against his old team all the time. I think he's at double-double. He's played against his team 6 times, had it 4 out of the last 6 times. I think this time is going to be a good time for him to come back. He's injured, questionable right now, but I think he is going to be prone to coming back here. So I like the Cavs to get that extra boost on the boards, and they have been just this far as this Brooklyn team, they've been bad on the boards already all year, ranked 28th for the season, and they're just still in that bottom 5 over the last 5 to 10 games. So they're just not good at rebounding. So I think that they're going to have that issue today. And as far as the Cavs, they just need to make their shots. So as far as Garland and Donovan Mitchell, they just need to be able to make their shots today. So I expect them to make their shots. Even guys like Okoro, I think Okoro has possibly been hitting threes. I mean, 7 out of the last 8 games, so something crazy like that. It's only 1 3 he's been making, but at the same time, you just need some of those guys to keep giving those production here. So give me the Cavs, man. I took them at -3, -115. Tweeted that out, but as far as right now, I think you're only getting 4s right now. So if whatever we got to give out to the people, but we got to tweet it out at -3.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll use your -3, -115. You tweeted it out. I like that, Wham. I agree with Piker on the under here. I wish it had dropped a half point or a point, but these are 2 teams playing with pace issues. Or no, pace issues. It's stupid. It's slower pace. Grit and grind looking at Mobley double-double. Piker says number one defense in the NBA versus a team struggling to score under is live. I agree. I just wish it had shown some sign, but still, the public is betting the over. The bigger bets are coming in on the under. 20% of tickets, 64% of cash. I simply can't bet the Cavs, unfortunately, here. Jay Rush saying Brooklyn dog of the day. There's just too much money on the Cavs and the bigger bets. Some bigger bets coming in on. But I like it. If it was a little different, I'd be on the Cavs. I expect the Cavs to take care of business. Robert Franklin leading under. I'm gonna move on the under. I think the under is live here for sure. Wham Bam on Cavs -3, -115. Pete, you staying off?
No, but I definitely am liking. My initial thought was Brooklyn team total under, which I thought was just like yet another Capper obvious analysis of the day. But yeah, leaning Cavs, leaning under.
Way of doing it.
Yeah, leaning
Cavs.
Cavs.
Have to move to -4 at Bet365. By the way, maybe that's a smarter way of doing it. What is that? That's 107.5 for Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it, but that's I think I like the. I don't know. I think I like the under more than the Cavs, but yeah.
North Ender saying it opened up at 221.5. So I imagine he's talking about Bet Online with limits. Yeah, and it did 221.5, and it got down to 218. So it's actually come up a half point from there. Thank you for mentioning that. That's important. Thank you for mentioning that, North Ender. Okay. I don't know if I want to double up on this, but I'm very interested in the under. All right, let's move on to the next ball on the board. 8 p.m. Eastern. San Antonio Spurs, 19-52, 6-27 on the road at New Orleans Pelicans, 34-37, 22-13 at home at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. Take a look at the line history here for this one. We have a huge move towards the Pelicanos, and we've already heard that Keldon Johnson is out. So at Bet Online, it's opened up at 8.5. At Pinnacle, it's opened up at 11, but it wasn't enough. It's now 13. The Pelicans are 13-point favorites. Total-wise, it's opened up at 235. It's dropped to 231. Spurs playing pace 100.80 possessions a game, but Pelicans playing pace 98.1 possessions a game, and it's not like they're playing very quick. Take a look at the cash flow here for this one. We have 57% of the tickets and 81% of the cash on the Pelicans. 58% of the tickets are on the under, but we don't have a cash flow check yet. Spurs coming off snapping their 2-game losing streak with a 126-118 win at home over Atlanta on Sunday. Outscored the Hawks 65-35 in the second half. Pelicanos snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 117-107 win at the Rockets on Sunday. JV had 21 and 12. Pistol Pete, any thoughts here? Spurs, Pelicans.
Once again, kind of a Captain Obvious analysis. Spurs team total under 109. Like that better than the Pelicans team total over, probably. Although that's okay. Just doesn't seem like the Pelicans, have an easy time getting to that number. Lean Spurs team total under at 109.
That makes sense to me.
It does.
I think the under is probably dipped too far at this point, but that was out of the player move, dropping Keldon Johnson here. But no, it was just slowly going down over at Penny. It's been 4-point move at Penny. Take it away, Wham Bam. Spurs, Pelicans.
Yes, weird game. Another weird game here. We're getting a big number for the Pelicans. Do we really trust the Pelicans? They have been able to own this team, though, historically, winning and covering 4 straight times. I believe 5 out of the last 6 times. This game right here is really strange to me because something is telling me that the Pelicans is going to win and cover this game. You know what I mean? Something's telling me that the Pelicans are going to win and cover this game, especially with those guys out. My guy Andrew G said the big 3 is out. Man, they don't have nothing close to a big 3, bro. They need a big 1 first, bro. They need a big 1 before they could get a big 3. They need, what I'm saying? We just be throwing that around, dog. But no, I'm just messing around. But to be honest with you, bro, I don't want nothing to do with this game, bro. This is one of those games I look for the button. I just come here and press the button and shit. Like I really don't have nothing to do with this game because I don't want anything to do with a team that I feel like can't take for both teams. Both teams, I don't expect them to be in the playoffs or even in the play-in. you know, it's such a again, I could just see them winning and covering. That's the reason why I don't want to, you know, try to be smart here and take the Spurs, because I can see the Spurs, you know, obviously you don't want to shun anyone. You know, as soon as some of these guys are out that you think matter, you get these two-way guys come out here and have career games against teams that don't care. And we've seen that so many times this year, especially. So I think they can find themselves caring, though. So that's the reason why I don't want to jump with them or against them as far as the Pelicans. So it's a wobbler for me. I'm going to stay away from this game. But as far as any props, I think I did like yeah, I like CJ McCollum over 33 and a half points, rebounds, and assists. They're ranked 30th in allowing points, rebounds, and assists in the guard position as far as San Antonio Spurs. And he's hit this number 6 out of the last 10 times. So I do like that and look a lot. It's just something I don't feel like I want to bet right now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I got to wait a little bit. I will be on the pub show today, though, with my guy Dutch did just let me know I'll be filling in for Daryl today. So I will be on there. Maybe I'll add that as official play later on.
Poker Addicted 79 says Captain Caparavius would be a great show character. You damn skippy, Poker Addicted 79. Maybe we'll look into making that happen, Jimmy the Bag.
I would like that. I would like
not
that very
bad,
much.
Not a bad little gimmick there. You know, you gotta have a gimmick.
Well, we also want you to lay down some. We would like to shoot the video for Rider -4 and some of your tracks.
I got a lot of tracks. I got my redemption song track. That's my favorite. That's my personal favorite. All I ever had, YouTube comments. Won't you help to read these positive comments? All I ever had, YouTube comments. Hell yeah. Let's do that shit, Jim.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Vitalis checking in, heat checking Mike M. Pimp Slap play of the day out yet? No, that it's being thought about here. And Mike M says, so we have 13 plus points on the Spurs after opening at 7. Star players out. Spurs in a 9-0 against the spread spot. Pelicans in an 0-7 spot. And New Orleans in a 2-7 straight up spot. Yeah. You know, the Spurs keep trying. And I don't know. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to certainly put it here and think about it when the show ends. 2 more games in NBA. Let's move on to the next bottom of the board. 10 p.m. Eastern. Boston Celtics 49-23, 23-14 on the road. At the Sacramento Kings 43-27, 21-14 at home. We're Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. Go to the line history for this one. Millsy's Kings, making them proud. The Kings open up at +4. They're now +5. Did open up at 3.5 at some offshores. Totals wise, it's opened up at 238.5 and has not moved. Still sitting at 238.5. It's a very high total, but these teams are efficient offensively. It can be. Well, Sacramento is. Boston 3-2 over the past 5, 98.3 possessions a game. Sacramento 3-2, playing at pace 100.30 possessions a game. Celtics had their 2-game winning streak snapped, a 118-117 loss at Utah on Saturday. Brown also had 25. Tatum 15. Grant Williams 23. It was the second game of a 5-game road trip, and Time Lord, who's been dealing with the strained left hamstring, is expected to be in the lineup tonight. He's missed 8 straight games. So they got a bit of a rest after that loss to the Jazz. It was their 5th game in 8 days, and they got beaten up on the offensive glass, and maybe Time Lord can change that. Kings are on the second half of back-to-back after having their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 128-120 loss at Utah last night. So both teams coming off losing at Utah, and our Mike M's Pimp Slap play of the day was Utah +6.5. Didn't need the points there. De'Aaron Fox went for 37, Keegan Murray 22, the Sabonis 11 points, 12 boards, 9 assists. The Sacramento Kings are now 1 game back of Memphis for the number 2 seed. Who would have thought that we'd be talking about the Kings like that? And the loss at Utah prevented a pretty a 4-0 road trip. They looked very good. Beat Chicago, beat Brooklyn, beat Washington, but couldn't get past Utah. And Mike M knew that was going to happen. Let's start with you, Pistol Pete. Any feelings for this Celtics-King spot?
I was looking at this game. I was thinking, this feels like a Ski Profit special. I bet you Ski. This is the kind of game that Ski Profit has like insightful picks on. I bet you anything he's got a pick on this game. I bet you anything it wins. I have no idea what it is, but I really don't know. Boston, on this road trip, and then Sacramento on a back-to-back. In general, Sacramento for a while, I've had them correctly pegged as a team, as a bet on or pass team. I don't like fading Sacramento in general. So I'm not sure what to make of this one. I see a lot of people in the comment section kind of liking Boston here. Oh man, pass for me.
Well, let's hear what Wham Bam has to say. Take it away, Golden One Center in Sacramento.
Such a tough ass game, man. Like, why did it have to be so concentrated now towards the end of this damn slate here with 2 tough games to close it out? I feel like this is the toughest of the 2, and it's going to start off with the guys that's ending off their road trip here in Sacramento. In the Boston Celtics, obviously you said it, they're off of a loss now because they lost to the Jazz. And like you said, Mike M caught that. Man, what do Mike M like? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it, Mike M. What do you expect to happen here? Because if the way you caught that was a good call. I feel like here in this game, I don't want to go against the Beam because this is a real game for them. Like this is going to be probably another tough game for them. They just slipped out of the second seed to the Grizzlies, and obviously then we know the Grizzlies are getting job back. I think the Kings have the most incentives to go for the second seed other than anyone else, because I don't think they're really too scared if they have to play Denver, but they have home court against everybody else in the West. I think they're going to feel pretty good about themselves. I don't think they care too much about going head up against Denver. It's all about guard play when it comes to that matchup. And the other guys, you don't want to go to Grind City. You know what I mean? You don't want to go to the Suns area. Those guys, I've been in the Suns arena with the Lakers. It's crazy. Them people crazy up in there. You know what I'm saying? It's loud and ruckus and things of that nature. So I think the Beam wants this more than anybody as far as the regular season close out. They probably even go all the way and run guys dry. You know what I'm saying? Empty out the tank type situation. So I could see them emptying out the tank tonight. The problem here for me is that the Celtics, they didn't have no business losing that game, BJ. You right, bro. They had no business losing that game. And the fact that they lost the game, damn, man, I could see the Celtics playing really well, especially with Robert Williams coming back. That vertical lob threat is such another dynamic that they haven't been able to use this year, because it seems like he's still always coming off of an injury, coming off of like time, so they're not really running him as much. But this time around, I think he's getting rest rather than him being real injured. I think he was mostly getting rest this time, so I could see him being a spark plug on the way back this time around as far as Robert Williams. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have a really good game. This game is so tough for me, bro. Like, I want to have action here, but it doesn't have to do with anything about the side or anything. It's going to be probably like Jaylen Brown, or I want to take De'Aaron Fox. I think it's going to be one of those back and forth games, and maybe the Celtics win this game, but I don't want to touch it.
We have 2 different looks from cappers here, back to back. We already saw that Andrew G and BJ really love the Celtics here, but Piker says Celtics bounce back spot here. There's nobody playing for Sacramento that can stop Jason Tatum. Look at Tatum's props, but certainly do not fade the Celtics tonight. And Mike M says Kings cover here, in his opinion. Says Boston 0-9 against the spread spot on a vicious road trip, and Kings were in the look-ahead spot tonight. Kings won't look ahead and blow it 2 nights in a row. So
I was thinking Kings first quarter, but that was just my thought. Not that I'm going to bet it.
Yeah, I like that Jaylen Brown PRA here, and I also like the points for De'Aaron Fox, but I haven't got official with those yet, but I do like that PRA for Jaylen Brown the most.
Kong's Clip says Celtics first half spot, get in, get out, and Nasty Nate says Celtics smash every quarter. All right, let's move on to the final spot on the board for us. 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Oklahoma City Thunder 35-36, 13-21 on the road. At the LA Clippers 38-34, 19-16 at home. Crypto.com Arena, Los Angeles, California. OKC 4-1, playing the pace 102.1 possessions a game. Clippers 4-1, playing the pace 97.5 possessions a game. I have not moved on futures on the Clippers, although they interest me. I don't know what the hell is going to happen in the Western Conference playoffs, man. And so I just I do not think they're going to have an easy route. I need more time with it. Thunder open up at +6. They're now +7. Total wise, open up at 236.5, now 237.5. Again, these are pinnacle openers. Take a look at the cash flow here for our final game on today's show. 59% of the tickets and 87% of the cash is on the Thunder, and the market's moving towards the Clippers. 26% of the tickets and 30% of the cash is on the over. So bigger bets or more actions on the under, and it's gone up a point. So market confusing at this point. Collins Cliff says OKC cover machine, just roll with it. These teams face each other again on Thursday, so I love these opportunities to double up. Thunder coming off their fourth win in 5 games, 124-120 home over the Suns on Sunday. Shea, of course, part of that big trade in 2019, put up 40 on Sunday, 124-120 victory over the Suns. Clippers coming off their 5th win in 6 games, 117-102 at Portland on Sunday. Paul George went for 29 and 9. Tyronn Lue was not there. He stayed in LA because he was sick, non-COVID illness. So he'll be back behind the bench we expect tonight. And Norman has not played since March 2nd. What do you think, Pete? Any lean here in Thunder Clippers?
This is another one similar to the Kings. I just don't like fading OKC really in any spot. But I made a decision, Jim, just to have, I should make a couple of picks. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to make official the 2 Captain Capper obvious plays, the Detroit team total under and the Spurs team total under as well. Just you can make both those official. Actually, the Detroit 112 I'm not seeing anymore. So I'm going to have to take 111.5 and Spurs team total under 109 minus 110. You can add both of those onto my official record, Jim.
Pistons team total under. Was it 111.5?
Yeah, and then the Spurs 109.
And what juice on that?
Minus 110 on both of them.
And the Spurs under 109. I'm interested in that look too. All right, let's see what Wham Bam has to say about the final game on the board, not far from you. The Crypto Arena. Take it away.
Yeah, man. This is a very, very interesting game. I want to say there's been a few times here SGA just really went off against his team. 26 points, 26.5 points is what he's averaged in the previous year there. So this game right here, bro, I'm going Kawhi. I'm going Kawhi only. I think he's just going to have one of those crazy nights. He hasn't played against this Clipper team since January 2021. And when he did play as a Clipper, every game that he played against this team, he's at 8 rebounds or more. And he's been able to go over the points, rebounds, and assists that's set at 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I just think that that's a good number for us today. I think that he's going to be able to go over that. I do think that Russell Westbrook plays up. He knows that he did mention a lot of kind of taking the blame. I mean, hearing Russell Westbrook taking the blame is something I haven't heard since he was a Wizard. He never did none of that with the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So now he's taking the blame.
Since he was a UCLA Bruin.
Yeah, maybe even then. Now, I heard him say something like that to Wizards. I'm not going to do him like that. But I think that alone, knowing that he was one of the main factors of them losing against that Magic team and going back to OKC, shout out to LJ. LJ probably feeling the same way I'm feeling. He says Westbrook triple-double. I think he's getting us one of those vintage performance. Almost had the triple-double a couple times in the last few games. So I think he gets over the edge today and possibly can get you that triple-double tonight, LJ. And I think he's going to play just as much. And I like the rebounds, man. I like the rebounds. Like Andrew G said, I like the over 7.5 rebounds at plus money. I seen it at plus 115, so you got to shop around on that one. But I haven't bet that yet. I did bet the over 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That one was set, I believe, at minus 120 for me. But we could get the available line right now. I think we may be able to get something better than that.
Kawhi Leonard, interesting take there. I've got to sit with this NBA card longer, but let's review all action here in the association today. It starts off with Wendell Carter Jr. double-double at plus 125. Then we have, and that's from Wham Bam, of course. All right, Wham. And then we have Wham on Wiseman. Wiseman double-double at plus 100, and Pete on the Pistons team total under 111.5 at minus 110. Then Wham's on the Cavs -3 at minus 115. I'm interested in the under. I have some interest in the Nets team total under. I don't want to double up, so I'll have to figure that out. Then Loshak's on the Spurs team total under 109.5 minus 110. I'm actually
109, Jim, not 109.5.
Oh, 109 even. Okay, yeah. Thank you. I actually lean towards the Spurs.
It's still minus 120.
It's at minus 120. Okay.
Yeah, it's still minus 120.
Cool. I lean towards the Spurs. I don't know if I can pull the trigger. Celtics, Kings, I'm off. We are all off at this point. And Kawhi Leonard over 39.5 points, rebounds, assists, minus 120 for Wham Bam. And if you tweet, if you add anything to your card, just please tag me on your tweet so I can keep it for record-keeping purposes. But excellent job, Wham Bam. I cannot believe that we get to see you this week, man. When do you and DJ Big Boss fly in?
Well, as you see, I'm already here, but we'll be here officially, physically on Friday. Friday, we'll be locked in. Boss, he's up in the chat right now. Yeah, man, hit the like button. You know, there you go. That's what Boss is out here. We can't wait to get it cracking. Him and Pete going to be out there having the time at the bar.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
you know
okay. Not too many seconds up on the screen with that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And this is not the last action here for our show. World Baseball Classic with Jose Bouquet. We're going to close up here. We have a huge game that he's got a lot invested in. My man, thank you for running with us, Wham Bam. Have a great NBA Pub show at 4 p.m. Eastern. Keep putting in that work and getting that cash. And I can't believe I get to see you here in a minute. I'm really excited, man. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Oh, no, man. Everything is good. Appreciate y'all. Saturated, Johnny Guns, DJ Big Buck, Bo Jackson, Ken. Man, we appreciate y'all, man. Y'all already know it's all love. And make sure you out there for the Pub-a-Palooza Part 2 is going up. Parking lot pimping right behind me. Where are we at right now? Right here in front of Southtown 101.
Man, I'm pumped. I am pumped. All right. So let's bring on our final guest, the producer of the show here. And it does a hell of a job. I love working with him. And what a roller coaster ride the last 48 hours have been. We know he was bullish on two futures in this tournament, Venezuela at a huge number and Japan at a good number. And the Venezuela-USA game was a game for the ages where he ended up not having his squad come through. But
why you gotta talk about this? Why are you making me pre-sad?
But the Japanese squad came through with a last-minute double. Now there was none out in the bottom of the ninth, but what a monster lineup that can be for Japan. Take it away, young Sweet Tits Bouquet. Oh, Sweet Tits. No, Sweet Tea Tits.
Wow.
I gotta make that clear. Sweet Tea Tits Bouquet, take the floor. Alfred says WBC has been truly awesome. Glad to have serious baseball in March. Mike M says, Jose loves Japan to get it all. Jose, how are you betting tonight's World Baseball Classic final?
Yeah, I'll make this easy. Shout out to my guy Pete, who already pre-told me. He's tailing me on this. Pete, welcome to the Anti-American Alliance. We're against the Americans today. It's the whole tournament. It's been anyone but the U.S., anyone but the U.S., anyone but the U.S. So, of course, we're taking Japan money line tonight. I'll double-check the odds here. It was at plus 105 last time I checked it. But
is that for shtick purposes or because you genuinely believe they're overvalued?
Of course, I think they're overvalued. Pete's America. Everyone always bets the American team, et cetera, et cetera. It took – I can't believe I'm actually going to start talking about this. It took a gift from God for them to escape the Venezuelan team. They were up 4-0. We come back, and then I have my Aaron Boone moment live on air. By the way, if you sickos are interested in that, if you want to see my reactions to that, there's a full video, 6-minute video, so you can ride the highs and the lows. And I'll give you guys, you sickos, 35 seconds of joy here.
That's fine. That's a lead. That's a lead. We'll take the lead like that, too.
This is the best.
That's why.
I'll lose $100 just to see this.
We'll take the lead. This is what we do. We're down 4-0. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna jump in. And I'm gonna.
Yeah. God. Strike 3. Let's go. Fucking, he's never been in a game like this. He's a choke artist. Fucking loser. Fucking loser.
Best player of our generation is going to lose.
So if you
I can't believe I'm tailing that guy.
You're tailing this fucking guy. Venezuela breaks my hearts. And of course, we're going with Ohtani in Japan today. They're plus 115. And I kind of, maybe it's the same situation like I thought with Venezuela. You wait, and you can get the best line because everyone's just going to pour money into the U.S. because everyone wants to bet to the U.S., et cetera, et cetera. But I think Japan wins today. They've got Shota Imagi, I believe, going on the bump tonight, and he's very good, obviously. He was supposed to go after Yu Darvish, who was allegedly going to start, but I kind of do like the mysteriousness, I guess, of them throwing a Japanese pitcher that none of the Americans have seen. It also, their bullpen is phenomenal too, because, they just got fucking dudes that throw a ball hard as shit with a bunch of movement, which obviously is ideal. So I like Japan today. They're plus 115. Shout out to everyone that has tailed me on the futures looks. Obviously, I assume more people tailed me on Japan because everyone knows that I'm more emotionally invested in Venezuela. So it's a very sweaty day. I will either be down 150-ish bucks with my bookie, or I'll be up 400. And I would really like to be up. That would be nice. And we talk about transparency on this program often. Those are my two futures bets. Obviously, I've been betting the say hey minutes and those individual plays daily, but I put $100 on this future, and that's obviously not my unit size. I'm not a $100 capper like one James the Bag is, and I put $50 on Venezuela because it fucking broke me. And luckily, I got lucky last night. I made it back in some live bets on Japan, but I've been very invested in this game. I really think that Japan's going to win this game. Obviously, Ohtani Trout is going to be the main factor here. It's going to be Imagi, and I assume it'll be Yu Darvish after him. And then if it's close and they need the closer, Shohei Ohtani will close this game. I'm 85% certain he's going to close the ball game. How is that going to work with him running out into the bullpen? I don't know. He's obviously going to be in the lineup still, but I think Japan wins this ball game. And for those of you who don't feel that comfortable as well, 10.5 is pretty high, but I lean towards an over. 10.5, like I said, high, but the U.S. doesn't have pitching. Merle Kelly on the bump for the U.S., so I'll be interested to see how that goes. So it's going to be a lot of bullpen, and I've been saying it for fucking weeks now. I don't trust an MLB analyst as a head coach, so give me the Japanese team, and I hope Trey Turner doesn't fuck me in the face again.
Ooh, wow, again?
Oh, he did it. He took it out and let me have it.
No, we'll take it from here. But exciting. You've done great work in the WBC. Very, very healthy ROI and very exciting breakdowns, and I hope that you can get this home for you, man.
Yeah, it would make Pubapalooza a lot easier financially for me. It would, maybe I'll even have a lap dance in Japan's armor. Who knows? Because obviously, and by the way, Jim, the city of San Antonio has had some issues with the slap contest. The city did, I guess, like message the strip club and be like, "Yo, you guys really doing this?" And the strip club said, "Yeah, we are really doing this." So slap contest still on. We'll still be there Friday night after the poker tournament, and then it'll be a whole lot of fun to see who survives that leading into Saturday morning at the Alamo Brewery. Or Alamo Beer Company, I should say, a cornhole tournament, the UFC live stream, live shows will be there, the pre-shows, giving you guys out picks for that, all leading up to the actual fights that night. It'll be a whole lot of fun.
I've got to watch our UFC coverage and golf coverage today. I'm planning to do that this afternoon. I want to have golf and UFC action here this week, so I'll be listening. Jose, good luck tonight, man. Get that cash with Japan. It's been a lot of fun. Bo Jackson says you should live stream the slap contest. I don't know if we live stream it. I don't know if we're allowed.
We will. It won't be technically live, but the videos and the recordings will be out there. Of course, me, or my friend, my pal, the best podcaster in San Antonio, Cecilia of 210 La Chismosa, will be on the call. We'll have a rotating third person there as well. So you will see the slap contest. We will be commentating the slap contest. It just will not be live at 1 a.m, 5 a.m. It'll be up the next day.
I respect that. What a great show. I can't believe we're all going to be hanging out here in a few days. I'm so excited. Let's do a quick review of all action here, and then we will some of us will add action, but then we will get ready to all hang out in Texas.
I can feel your palm sweat from here.
I'm not going to have that much action today. And you know what? This last 2 weeks has really helped my bankroll. So I was pretty nervous about things.
But, that's how I feel right now. That's how I feel about tonight. The bankroll will be great for Pubapalooza, or we'll be in a bad spot and very sad. By the way, Pete, did you tail?
I just did. I'm running into minimum limits though at my book. They won't let me bet for 50 cents, so I'm limited to. I'm going to try and see if I'll take a bet for 80 cents, and I'll get it in. I'll get it in though.
Let's review all action. Both Peter and I are on the Sabres -1. I'm on the Lightning puck line -1.5, -110. Pete's on the Habs first period of +167. Hurricanes Rangers no action. I'm on the Devils -1. And I'm going to add the under 6. Pete's on the under 6 in Minnesota, New Jersey. I'm going to add that. Loshak is on Philadelphia, team total over 2.5 at -150. Flyers first period +131. Flyers -1 +275. I took the Flyers on the money line +160. I want to know if Kuznetsov is in or not in Washington, but I probably just stay away from that and wait till Merzlikins is back for his next start and then bet them then. I'm on the Leafs -1. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm adding the Leafs -1. I'm adding Leafs -1. Loshak's on the Leafs first period. That wasn't going to be part of my plan, but now is. I'm also adding the Blues -1. Loshak's on the under 6.5 +103 in Detroit, St. Louis. Loshak's on the under 6.5 in Arizona at Winnipeg. He's on the Kraken first period at +123 and the team total over 2.5 -130. Loshak's on Anaheim, team total over 2.5 at -113. So that is our situation. So just to remind them, I have 4 bets that I've already made, and then I'm adding those 3. So I'll have 7 total. Then Matty Ice is on North Texas +4.5. Ron Crawford also on North Texas +4.5. That's spreadsheet play of the day. Loshak's on the under 132 in Wisconsin, Oregon. I'm interested in Southern Utah. I think I might pull the trigger in Tom Miggins. Levels play of the day. Charlotte first half -2.5 -114. And that is our show. We've already went over all of the NBA action. There's Canadian Capper in the house. Pistol Pete, my friend. We are going to be seeing each other in person here in a few days. Can you please bless our action and take us into the future and give the final words for today's show?
I bless all the action that has been made in today's show. My final thoughts on today's show are I tailed Jose Bouquet. I need to take some serious stock of my life and make whatever changes might be necessary. But we cannot continue like this. This was maybe my low point. But I had a lot of fun doing it. So that's really all that matters. See you all in San Antonio.